Yeah, noted.
Really, I had only heard good things until now.
Yeah, it's only been great. Alright, so, to recap, you all were started in the Elven Village. You fought someone with 2 pieces of the amulet who was better, who actually knew how to use it and to kind of leverage it against you all. And that person, unfortunately, made you have to beat a hasty retreat.
Hey, we did that gracefully.
Was that Luvatar?
No, it was Silas. Luvatar. He killed Luvatar.
Okay, that's right. Silas came back. Okay.
That's right, yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, Luvatar did not make it. I'm sorry about your half-brother.
It's okay, I hate him now.
Yeah, I hate
Barely
him.
knew each
Die
other.
in peace.
May he rest. So yeah, so then you had the Luvatar thing, and she left you guys with this kind of orb, which is a headpiece to a staff that can, when the elemental eye, which is what these heralds are built to summon, that amulet, when it completes, it'll summon this huge, very, very powerful being from the nether realm. It will, if you create this staff and headpiece, it will protect you from this thing. And I think someone got a scroll that will also lock it in. So if you use a scroll and the staff in the same sort of vein, it will lock this creature in this dimension. It will prevent it from escape.
Did we learn this last time?
Yeah.
So the scroll is something that I got from the guy.
The sage, yeah.
The sage who kept trying to kill himself.
Yes.
Because he's been plagued with live forever but be stuck on a mountain. Yeah.
That's true. And then your guys' motivation. So in order to get this information from the sage, and correct me if I'm wrong, because this is where my memory is a little hazy, is you said, okay, we'll finally put you to rest. We'll kill you if you give us this information.
Yeah.
And it seems like this is somebody who, of course, I dropped one of the caltrop ones on the floor as well. It's not as sharp. It's always the D4. You're like, oh god, this is on the floor. And it's like
someone could die.
Yeah, I'm bleeding.
Yeah. So yeah, you're correct.
We promised to kill him.
Yes, and you promised to kill him, and then in order to, and he seemed to be somewhat threatening if you guys didn't fulfill that promise.
What's he gonna do? Kill us?
Well, he took a swipe at somebody and had some weird magical shit, like the demon kind of imbued in his swipe. It missed, but it looked scary.
Wait, who did he attack? Remember?
He took a swipe at either you or Chase.
I think it was Chase. I don't remember being swiped at.
Chase probably did something worth being swiped at.
I think this should be the nice cozy fireplace. Let's see if it looks.
Are you trying to feel the fire?
Is it warm yet? Oh, it's so cozy now.
So cozy. That's so much cozier. I'll put by now. That's not aggressive. Guess it's a loud fire.
Louder fire.
I don't even want to hear you, Jeff. I just want to hear
I just want to hear the crackle of logs and flame. Alright. So then, in order to repay this guy's debt, so he pretty much made a deal with this demon, which gave him power to be immortal, and it's some of the power that he used to forge these amulets, which is why they are so hard to kill. And even though this demon isn't that, the demon isn't necessarily that strong, but it comes with all the backing. So it's sort of like you have the big brothers in the right places type thing. So even though the demon, is it's a major demon. It's relatively strong, but it easy. But
relatively strong.
The power that is keeping both the amulet intact and alive, and silent, and sorry, I think this. What was the guy's name? Oh, is that our food?
Hello.
Perfect timing.
Oh, hi.
Well, hi.
Oh, okay, great. I'll come down in just a moment. Let me put some shoes on.
Hey. Let me make sure I got everything. I do have some Nephris things planned.
So you say some nefarious things?
Nefarious, yeah. Did I pronounce that wrong? I pronounced it wrong.
A little bit.
Nefarious, just a smidge. It's a sprinkle of mispronounced.
Like a touch.
Yeah, demon is your bark. Okay, and that's,
Can someone remind me, when you long rest, can you, swap out your spells?
Yes.
Or is it only wizards that can do that?
Everybody can, right?
Yeah.
I think...
Of
as long as
spell,
you learn them at some point.
You don't have to learn.
I think the wizard. So yeah. So for mini classes, so like for us, we would probably allow it. If it was like a strict game, wizards are the only ones who have usually a spell book that they can change. Like, because like sorcerers, for example, they are you kind of decide your spells, and those are the ones you have, unless like we're like, hey, you're not using it ever. That's fine.
Yeah.
But like a sorcerer, like their kind of backstory is like, well, you're
There's some, like,
gifted with some
inherent
weird
magic.
curse that's giving you this inherent magic, and that's not something that's easily interchangeable.
Right. Okay.
Same with the warlock.
Interesting.
And a warlock is like you have some patron god or deity that's empowering you, and like those are relatively set.
Got it.
But here, because this is very casual, like we would say, oh yeah, like
Take
if
anything
you're
you
not
sell.
using this and you just hate it or it's not working for you, like change it. I don't
I
care.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm like pretty happy with mine, so I leave them alone.
I change mine every time we take a long rest.
But you're a wizard, so you're allowed to.
I'm a wizard, and I'm like the
Regardless.
most indecisive RPG player ever. Like,
That's true.
I respec my characters every time. Like, every moment I get a chance. I've been playing a game lately that does not have that functionality
Yeah.
for me. You can't respec that way, and then like change all your skills.
It's like
And
I'm
it's
trapped.
It's tough.
That's when you like hoard all the skill points.
I'm
like
like
Diablo
really,
2.
I'm really enjoying it, and it's fantastic in a lot of ways, but it's niche and it's tough to swallow as somebody who always wants to reconfigure.
Which game is it?
Path of Exile.
Oh, I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah. It's good. It's not. It is hard. It's less. It's like less approachable in the sense that it's a bit. It's more complex and systems driven and stuff, but it is very good once you kind of get into it.
Well, yeah, a lot of people on stream will say you got to play Path of Exile, and I'm like, well, I already have enough things that are trying to delete my life, so.
This one deletes it. It's definitely the kind of game like I feel like to play it right, you have to be comfortable with like looking up a lot online.
Yeah.
It's not like you can just sit down and play, or it's harder to just sit down and play.
This looks like a
Santa Barbara Char.
Barbara.
So
Looks like a club.
Thank you.
How much do I owe you? Oh, 15. Okay, that's
I'm gonna grab.
Reasonable.
I know. It was $60 altogether.
I'm gonna grab us some napkins real quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Looks like you. Nothing on it.
Nothing on it.
Plain and dry.
Just like my personality.
They did not wrap mine very well.
This is
Okay.
like packed this with lettuce.
Oh, wow.
Lettuce ball.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. They
It's
did
like a
not
head of
pack
lettuce.
this.
Oh, you got
Okay.
protein style.
Yeah.
Napkin,
Oh, thank you.
I gotta get into wedding shape.
napkin.
Thank you.
Did they put any sauces or anything in there?
And you're always in wedding
Oh,
shape.
and they should be
No.
fried.
Yeah, probably should be
I gained
here.
probably a solid
Here's some
5 pounds
Over the
over
holidays.
the holidays.
Yeah, that's what you do on the holidays.
Yeah.
Wait, open presents.
Oh, you got the chicken. Oh no, you got the
No,
chicken
I
one.
got the-
Shove in here. Okay.
Well, your mom's cooking is not something that we want to miss. Really.
Yeah.
That's true.
And your mom is, and she's good at the like comfort food.
Yeah. Wow, what a talented woman that.
Hey, I'm right here.
Sorry.
Regular fries.
Mmm.
Okay.
The habit sourdough
This is good.
sandwiches
This
are
is
so
good.
good.
I've never had it before.
Thank you.
It's good.
They have a good albacore tuna sandwich too.
Yeah, they have a lot of like random good stuff.
Yeah, they have like healthy stuff. They have like the temporary green beans.
Mm.
Jeffrey.
Thank you. You can have some of these.
There's a random
They're
assortment
sweet
of fries
potatoes,
in
so
here.
they are in fact paleo.
Yep.
You turn me on a Mark's Deli apple. Your
Wait.
choice.
Normal potatoes aren't paleo, but
No.
They don't really have nutrients in them, so they're just.
They're more neutral.
Yeah, they're like not great.
Help me with the fries.
Sweet potatoes have a lot more fiber, right?
Huh?
Sweet potatoes have a lot more fiber.
Yeah, more fiber and other nutrients like vitamins and stuff.
So it nets out better.
Everyone's saying that our backs are getting hot from the fire. It's true.
I'll eat this.
All right. Mm-hmm. Hold on for a second here. I'm still hungry. Okay, so
I really wanted a camera on me, like right when I'm just taking all these bites, you know? Yeah.
we'll actually they actually are all in slow mo right now. So then
No.
This is my ultra close-up camera.
yeah, this is this hyper zoom. No, but okay. So pretty much as it wrapped up, you guys, in order to try to fulfill your bargain with, I think his name is Gerald. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this kind of psychotic sage that has decided that because the world is so jacked up, he's trying to kill himself, but unfortunately he made a deal for immortality and he's unable to. Or he believes that the world is going to be so ruined that his life will become a living torture when the eye awakens.
Sounds like your life, Jeff.
Huh?
Sounds like your life.
Ah, Jeff's a sage.
Yeah, yeah.
He's something.
Maybe let me tell you how to live your life. It's the every mansplainer thinks they're a sage, right? No, I can handle it. I'm gonna turn that heater down though, because it is gonna get warm with like 10 people in here. I was wondering, I was like, why is it still hot? And it's like, oh yeah, because I have the heater on max. Alright. Okay. So, he gave you the information you needed about the staff, which was that there's this headpiece in the Weeping Colossus, which is kind of a dungeon for the fire cult, one of the elemental cults. It doesn't sound like this may have been, I don't know if he gave you too many negation, but this is like where that piece of the amulet was also hidden. So, but the staff was better guarded. So they probably, even if some people who were retrieving bits of the amulet were there, they probably didn't get to the staff.
Cool.
But yeah, so in that process, you guys say, okay, we're going to try to talk to this demon, bargain with them, try to free this guy from his curse of immortality.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Yeah. You summon the demon to make a bargain.
Well,
But
Chase summoned the demon.
Chase summoned the demon to make a bargain.
Twitchley summoned it.
Well, I think we all agreed to it.
God, where is he? Is he here to continue this bargain with
He
the
couldn't
demon
make
that's
it
going
tonight.
poorly?
He knew.
Huh.
He's trying to avoid his consequences.
So a demon was summoned to make this bargain. And unfortunately, the persuasion roll for the demon came out as a 1. And the demon... So you all are on the top of this very small, kind of little gazebo-like platform. There's a tiny hut where the sage lives in the very, very center. It's very high up in the mountains, so the air is very fresh, crisp. You have maybe 200 or so feet, maybe 300-400 feet, kind of what's that
Diameter?
called?
Radius?
Diameter. There we go. Or radius, both. Yeah,
Those are two different things.
Yeah, they're different.
two different. It's a shifting. It doubles in size every 10 seconds. But yeah, it's about 200-foot radius. We'll say, because that'll give you some more room in this
For
circle.
what?
No.
Nothing. You're just talking.
So about a 200-foot radius, and then there's this very, very long stairway that leads up, and it kind of terminates where this guy is. There's a bunch of pieces of kind of torture or killing equipment that's just lying around. There's a guillotine,
Oh, we can use that.
and this is the stuff that this guy's attempted to kill himself with unsuccessfully, repetitively. And in the center of all of y'all, you see Twitch the Switch, who's muttering to his necklace. He looks up, and then a enormous demon, greater demon.
Looked like a...
How's
He was like very fancy looking, right?
Let me see if I
Is he
can
dapper?
find. Yeah, he was very
Does he
dapper.
look like the demon from
He was-
the musical episode of Buffy? Because I would really like that.
That was so specific.
Yeah. This is,
Look him up.
you get worried sometimes.
Look it up. Google
No,
Once more with feeling demon.
I'm just being facetious. What do you need? I don't.
He's very
I'll look
dapper.
for-
He dances.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But he is very well dressed. It's clothing you're unfamiliar with, but it's sort of this like black jacket over a very, very nice white shirt that has kind of like a V on the neck, sort of around the neck, circling. It has these like kind of strange cords that go up from his pants upwards, and the pants are this very like smooth fabric. And as he appears in your midst, dressed to the nines, he says,
I'll give him over to 8, really.
"Which one of you idiots dies first?"
We point at Twitchley.
Yeah, which one
Well,
actually?
first of all, to answer that question, certainly him, without a doubt. But before we get to that,
Yes.
I think he mistakenly offered you some kind of deal that was clearly misplaced. He seems off in a different place right now,
Yeah.
Literally.
talking to some friends in different places. How might we be of
And
service?
Twitchley
to
is
you?
terrified. He's just sitting, clicking his thumb.
Yeah. How might we be of service to you? We request that you relinquish your control over this gentleman here, this fine gentleman who you've taken control of for the past 100 years or so, or several hundred years,
Try millennia.
millennia. Sure.
Of course. Well, I can accept, and he looks down at Twitchley, who's sucking his thumb, and kind of like little tears are streaming down his cheeks. He's like, I can accept a uncouth summoning, but what is it you have to offer in exchange for the freedom of this dear sage?
Our wildest dreams.
Yeah, I mean, well, we have to stop. We have some pressing matters to attend to, but if it's something we could, kind of do on our way, it's something we'd be happy to do. Yeah, we're trying to, stop the world from falling into pieces.
Well, that's very much what I'm concerned with, is the world falling into pieces. Why would I want to help you on your journey from preventing that?
How would you benefit from the world falling into pieces? How many souls could you gather? What use would that
More
be?
than you can expect, except for this one. He will be cursed here to live out his days under eternal torture for his ask for immortality.
Have you?
What a prize he would.
And you hear Gerald like, "No, God, no!" and he runs around and goes to the guillotine.
Have you heard of the heralds?
I have. I actually was, a bit of my power that this child used, and he looks down at Gerald, child used was involved in their creation. They are quite hard to remove from this dimension because of that.
What is your relationship with the heralds?
Well, you see, roll me persuasion. That's gonna be some valuable information.
Sorry, one sec.
Oh yeah, no worries. It gives me time to have another bite of my hamburger. Mm.
Oh god. Okay.
There's some room.
Come on.
Make it a good one.
11.
A 1?
11.
11, okay, I thought it was another one. I was like,
No,
oh, that's
not
interesting.
That one.
So he says, well, I believe my reasons are my own, aren't they? The question here is, we make a bargain, or I take this one. And he points to Twitchley, snaps his fingers, Twitchley vanishes.
Wait, you didn't even give us the chance to.
No, I
Whoa.
think he's just being held hostage. He's not like.
He owed me so much gold. We'll deal with that later.
We
What is-
are very adept killers. We could certainly gather some souls for you. Are there any that you have in mind?
He says, well, further south, there are there's a monastery I quite loathe.
Is it a stone monastery?
Unfortunately, it's not. If you care to earn your freedom with blood, slaughter all the monks in this monastery. There are perhaps some other alternatives, but as you said, you are apt killers.
What are the alternatives?
I'm looking for something which involves a rosé bottle of wine.
If you
That I
happen
can't
to
help you
find
with.
two,
Yeah. A wine bottle. He says there's a little device that has to do with these amulets. It's guarded by someone who is quite powerful, unfortunately, and one who is resistant to my charms.
Who could possibly resist your charm?
One wonders. Where does this thing go?
Oh, I have a trash bag here.
Trash bag?
Adam's backpack.
Yeah. He was resistant to my charms. He is carrying a dagger, which I very much would like. Rubies in the hilt. A small
We're reading Wheel of Time.
reading Wheel of Time is one of the items in there. Ruby in the hilt, some writing on the blade. Very, very beautiful, very pure gold. If you can find this dagger and bring it to me, or actually, you won't even need to bring it to me. You just need to free it from its current master. And I will come to you. And I'll free this wretch.
Why is it you can't take it from its master? Is this master more powerful than you?
You see, I'm as powerful as the bargains that I make. If I haven't made a bargain with someone, my power is quite limited. But here we are, making a bargain.
Oh.
Could we bring you that fellow and you can hash it out? Just talk it out. Work it out.
Yeah,
Bargain
use your
with him.
words. Communicate.
Bargain with him.
I've tried many times. He is quite resistant, like I mentioned before, to my charms.
I don't understand that.
Okay, so
Unfathomable.
the terms of the bargain are simple. We retrieve the dagger from this gentleman.
Indeed. By whatever means necessary.
You don't try to kill us at any point.
Acceptable. Well, unless you fail in your quest.
Of course.
Who's this gentleman?
Roll me persuasion.
Well, we need
Why is that persuasion? We need to know who he is to go get the dagger.
We need to know where he is. Not
You know
who he
where
is.
he
Oh, okay.
This is me.
8.
He says his titles
Just
are
in
not
case.
important. He lives in a city further to the south, one of the dwarven towns. It's one of their above towns, right near the entrance to their cave systems.
Mm-hmm.
It's called, I can just look it up, or I can look it up. Let me see.
Theophilus.
I was gonna say Harrenhal because I was thinking about Game of Thrones recently. Oh my goodness, what is it? This is the right section. It's part of the halls of the Hunting Axe. And he is their dwarven king. And they forged a beautiful little dagger that I would very much care for myself.
Yep, see, there he goes.
Oh, dang it. Spoilers.
I guess we could have guessed that.
How is the dagger bound
There's
to
no line
him?
for you.
Yeah, I gotta cut myself
Keep it going.
Roll drunkenness.
And what did you say was the way to defeat all the heralds?
Oh yeah, it's real
What was
simple.
that method you had mentioned? That like this one easy trick, heralds hate it.
Yeah.
You gotta get catnip and a bottle of booze, and then problem solved. No. Yeah. So he is located in the halls of the Hunting Axe. He is the Dwarven King, his prized possession.
And if we do this, you release this gentleman here.
And you don't harm us.
Yes, and if you want your little friend back, I can send him to you as well.
Well, it's debatable. We'll figure that out later.
I mean, he's concealing things.
He does have a way with words sometimes.
We'll flip a coin.
Understandable.
So is this dagger bound by any other means to this dwarven king, or Is it enough to simply just take it off of him?
It's in your interest to tell us.
It is indeed. It is.
Can I do an insight check on why his desire for this dagger?
You can do an insight check, but you probably would have to ask a question because just like insight is more to
Yeah.
gauge truthfulness. So
Oh,
you can
can we
insight
all-
check
Why,
to see.
why
So you're
is it
Arcana?
that you want this dagger in particular?
I don't remember.
My personal collection
I'm getting
of
kinda sick, so-
sharp jewelry is quite extensive, and
Thank you.
it would be a gorgeous addition to my display cases.
Can we all do
Can I do
like,
an insight
Yes,
check
you
on
insight
whether or
check
not
that.
that's the truth?
and then can we do like history or something to know if we have heard of this dagger?
Yeah,
or know anything
absolutely,
about it?
absolutely.
Okay, I'll do the Arcana check.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do.
Arcana might be a little bit tougher, so roll
History?
that at
Well, I have
disadvantage.
both.
Yeah.
I have history too, so I'll do
Okay, yeah, roll history.
that. 22 for history.
Okay, so you know that the dwarves. You gotta.
17 for history?
Alright, so then he'll probably know that the dwarves in that particular area have access to a very special metal. One that gives them special gifting over elements. And I don't know if you'd know this yet. No. Okay, so then,
Okay.
yeah.
The Dwarven King. Oh,
Made, yeah, just get me some other glass of wine and you'll figure it all out. But yeah, so you know that whatever this metal that this knife is forged out of gives a elemental affinity that is pretty much unprecedented. And whatever kind of element that metal is attuned to gives you very complete control over it. So you don't know what other places this metal has appeared, but like these dwarves have had, and they have had kind of a sketchy reputation as well, because that would be probably in their history that they've used this metal, they built some really fancy things with it, and then immediately stopped, like many years ago.
so retrieve the dagger. You'll free this sad old gentleman here.
Indeed, and your friend will be returned to you if you would like.
And
Yeah,
what
we'll
was
get
the
back
answer
to
on if the dagger is bound to the king? Or if we can take it?
It is, it's bound to an elemental affinity, but once it changes hands and it is given or taken by a mortal, it becomes that mortal's, how do we say, associate.
We're familiar with things that are.
Are you asking that?
associates.
Yeah.
What would you ask?
And he says,
Does
not
it
that I'm
talk?
aware of.
Wait, what did you ask?
I said it doesn't talk, does it? I'm sick of these items talking.
I'm a fan of quiet jewelry,
Me
you know?
too.
Yeah, quiet jewelry.
Just
for
leave me
us.
alone with my thoughts. They're
I
very
like
Um,
it loud, but not with words.
Well, I think the only
Yeah.
last thing we might need from you is
Impression.
if you want us to retrieve this dagger, if there's anything that you can give us that will help us retrieve this for you.
I feel like in this bargain, what is in it for me to
And
give
I
you
want
more
to-
things when you lose?
The dagger? Don't you want it?
So roll persuasion.
Me?
No, the person who made the hypochondria.
Where's my detail? That is a 18.
I'll roll against that. Let's see. Okay. So he says, there are perhaps some assistance I can give you, but it would not be in material form. The palace is something I'm quite familiar with, and there is a doorway that does not lead through the main front door. It leads straight to the king's chamber. This is a little escape hatch. And that doorway has an entrance at the very rear of the palace behind the bar called the bar called
Willows.
the bar called the Owlbear.
Owl bear.
Owlbear Bar. There is a door in their basement that leads straight to the king's private quarters. May that
Thank you so much for your help.
help you in your thieving endeavors.
By the way, great outfit.
Thank you.
What's your name, by the way?
One does not give one's name
What
easily.
shall we call you?
In the short term, you may refer to me as friend. And then, if you ever need help, say, I would like to phone a friend. And then vanishes.
I turned to the.
Did you do your insight check, by the way?
Yeah, it failed.
Oh, yeah, you failed, yeah. He was lying to you guys.
Oh, yeah. Wait, are you telling me that a demon dressed in, like, dapper clothing was lying to us?
What a shocker.
What could have painted that
You don't know what.
as
He was lying to us about
distrustful.
which part.
Probably all of it.
You don't know.
Anyways, I look to the guy who's been tortured
And
by
as
this
you
demon.
see, he's the dwarf, or
The guy who's been tortured by the
same.
demon all this time, and I just tell him, like, you're making a big fuss. That guy seems super nice.
he kind of like, yes, I understand, and he runs over to like, and as he's talking, his head is rolling back to his body and reattaching itself. And says, I know he's really a big charmer, that one. Oh, my dear old friend, my pal. And that's and he goes off and tries to continually kill himself.
Alright, so what information was this guy going to give us again?
So he already gave you information, so you don't have to be true to your word. But he gave you information about the fact that the amulets are connected to his ability. So this demon, its ability to kind of like sustain life no matter what. He's able. That's like the reason the amulet's very hard to destroy through like just some normal means. He also gave you some information that that headpiece that the elf queen gave you will connect to the staff, and that's located in the whispering.
And he gave us the scroll.
And he gave you the scroll that like
process.
yeah. So that staff, when it's complete, will protect you from whatever this amulet, when it's complete, is gonna potentially might summon. And then the scroll will, once it's there, you can make sure it can't escape. And then you can completely destroy this force if you are able.
Alright. So the only reason we're looking for this dagger is to just be good people.
To get
No, because we've now made a bargain with the demon.
Yeah, we can't twist back.
And because you got twisted back. And your guys' knowledge of history is like once you strike a bargain with the demon, that's when they get much more that's why he can't get the dagger because his powers are limited. But if you make a bargain, it's sort of like a Faustian type thing. If you make a bargain, then there's much more control you can have.
Okay.
Fine.
Well, I guess
Let's go get a drink.
we gotta go get the
Yeah, let's
get
hit that
stiff
bar.
drink.
Yeah. So you all descend from the mountain. The guardians that were guarding you on the way up, and so the halls of the hunting, the halls of the hunting axe, are not there. So this is kind of where those other dwarves that you were heading back to were heading. So I don't know if you all remember, you were traveling with these dwarves. Part of their kind of hometown is the halls of the hunting axe. I forget their names.
Were we traveling with the dwarf king?
No, you were traveling with one of his kind of emissaries, like kind of like at the same
And
plane.
do we know that the dwarf king that this demon accidentally mentioned?
Athos, yeah.
Do we know if Athos is the one he was referring to?
The Dwarf King is not Athos. Athos was like kind of the station of a Iluvatar to the Queen Lady.
Oh, so the king of dwarves did not show up.
Did not
as
go. He
part
was
of the
sending like some of his. He was sending some of his like highly ranked diplomats. So Athos was probably like a diplomat, someone who was just there to do kind of the political stuff. But they're heading back to these halls, the halls of the Hunting Axe, and from your journeys with them where the trail kind of led. So you go back down to that kind of that mountain path, and it's kind of this very, very narrow road between these two mountains where they kind of continue down, and it's maybe about a day's journey.
So long rest.
You can if you guys are low.
I mean, just to refresh everything. Like I use
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
rage.
Take a long rest. You guys haven't had a long rest in a while. But
We are still level
as
7.
you do that, who
Yes.
is? You guys are camping, so who is standing watch?
I will stand watch for 4 hours and then sleep the other 4 to because I have the ability to turn 4 hours into a long rest.
Great. So go ahead and roll me perception.
23.
Yes.
Nothing happens on your watch. Who's next watch?
The big pillow. Yeah.
Oh!
Save it.
Nice save. Here, I got you. There you go.
I have more perception.
No worries. Yeah, sorry my apartment is kind of
No, you're good. I just
Oh, yeah,
this
perception
corner's a little
actually
awkward,
is
so I'm
good.
just throwing.
Oh yeah, that's why we have that thing there. It's like the greatest. And you have that if you need your back support with
Oh, I'm good.
5 whatever. It's squishy.
It's dark.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
fantastic.
Alright,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm half elf, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're half.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll thank me. It's great.
In the world of
Okay, so
Wexley takes the second watch.
Yeah.
Wesley takes
So,
second watch. So go
nothing
ahead and roll me
happens on your
perception.
Nothing happens on my watch.
Despite a 23.
15.
Okay. You all sleep through the night, and then it's one more day's journey. So as you travel, you descend from these very, very steep peaks, and you all are relatively familiar with the Desert Valley. So it's this kind of this red larch is in the center, and you're coming further south, where both the Weeping Colossus is at the very bottom, and this dwarven village
Do you
is
pass
kind
through
of.
Red Larch?
No, that was way back north. So you guys are kind of coming through this mountain range at the middle portion of it, and then you're about one more day away from town. So go ahead. Who's taking watch? You're gonna have to sleep through the night.
I guess
Roll me.
I'll take watch again.
I'll take second watch. Okay.
Okay. So everybody, give me a
'Cause
couple of rolls.
4 hours is fine for me. Natural 1.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what I got then. Okay. I didn't do too well either.
So let me see.
It's okay. We can make it 7.
What level are you guys again?
7.
7.
You're all dead.
You were all killed in the night.
Yes.
Mm.
12 d12 damage.
I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing. I had the encounters.
Oh, it's an encounter, I see.
For some reason the obituaries aren't loading.
Yeah, the obits. Oh, there we go. There it works now. 7.
How to end D&D.
Yeah.
How do you wrap it up when all the party dies, you know?
Yeah. I'm being teamwork.
We are. There we go. So as you all are
Not paying attention during watch.
not paying attention during watch,
I was cleaning my fingernails.
you see there's too much stuff in them.
Get that dirt.
All right, so you see something up in the hill, and it looks like, because you're up in the mountains, there's kind of these craggy peaks with all this like snow and rock, and it looks like there's like almost like a little bit of the rocks shifting, and you just see the rocks shift far, far, far up ahead.
Well,
I'm sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who sees?
just me.
Here's you.
It's just some, like, does it just look like could be natural rock shifting?
It could this, but yeah, you just think it's natural rock shifting, and as
I just keep watching.
yeah, you just hear
If it doesn't give me pause, yeah.
yeah, and you just hear kind of these heavy.
Okay, I noticed
kind of
that.
like
So I
thundering.
noticed that now.
Yes, you notice that now, and you individually roll initiative as a huge hand sweeps down as this creature jumps from the mountain, grabs your back, and starts dragging you away from camp.
Oh, roll initiative. That's a 5.
I'm gonna win on that. So it's gonna take a attack on you.
Okay.
On its way out, and you're at a 5.
Can you see what it is yet?
Yes, so it is a frost giant. So it is an enormous being formed of stone and ice, and It's
Fire spells?
yeah, but it makes 2 great axe attacks.
Like gentle great axe attack.
Okay.
Yeah, real gentle.
The feather axe.
Yeah, that's gonna hit. I'm gonna say a 23 will hit,
It'll.
and then how about an 18?
Those will both very much hit.
All right.
We're all sleeping?
Yep, you guys don't notice anything.
The first thing you need to do is scream.
When I get a chance, I'm gonna do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
feels bad.
Oh!
Is this just it? Is this the end?
How many dice are you rolling? A great axe is 1d12.
Not this one.
That's a great axe? Because I have a great axe.
Greater
That's
axe.
1d12.
7. This is 3d12.
Whoa.
And
How is that our level?
I'll say 30 plus. Okay. So you're going to take
whatever the plus is.
32 points
Oh.
of slashing damage.
How are you doing?
I have 5 health.
Oh, how is this our level?
It might not be.
Part of the
Right?
zone. It's part of the
Okay.
mountain zone.
That's it.
What to how?
Oh, just that.
Yeah.
Just fuck my shit up.
Okay.
Yep. So
Am I
you are
grappled? Am I
you
prone?
are not grappled, so you're free action. So he kind of drops you, takes 2 steps with his great axe, and is about to reach to pick you back up in his next turn. And it should be your action now.
Yeah. I immediately shout out, "Wake up!"
Yeah, so that can be your bonus action.
Oh, that's my.
That can be your bonus action, unless you need it.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Can that be his movement?
Okay, fine. I'm gonna.
Moving his voice?
Can my
Flails around, and runs through
Always
some
try to
rocks.
game the system.
Yeah.
Or kicking
Okay,
something? Come on,
you know what I'm
that's
gonna
like a
do?
movement of
I'm
your foot.
gonna.
Accidentally
Who's-
trips over like a big gong.
Okay. I'm gonna for my action. I'm gonna use. Can I reasonably assume that message would wake someone up?
Yeah,
Can I just speak as an action also?
you can speak. You can speak
As an
as a
action.
bonus action, but you can speak as an action if you want. You can do anything as an action.
I want to speak as an action.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Speaking is more than enough.
Wake up, please. Please wake up. And then for my
You see
bonus,
Hypochondrius getting dragged off.
for my
Yeah.
bonus action, I want to use Misty Step and
Okay.
teleport 30 feet away.
Okay, and then so you take Misty Step, you teleport back towards camp.
Yeah.
Okay, so you teleport back
Can we
towards
roll for
camp,
initiative?
and then everybody who's woken up can roll initiative.
I'm definitely. I have advantage on initiative. Okay.
Can I use my movement? Also, I have action.
Yeah,
bonus
you can
action.
move your. You have your.
20.
Because you haven't used your movement yet at all.
Yeah, I would like to move another 15 feet further away, but still within the camp. Is it roughly?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's maybe about 20 feet outside of camp, because that's how far he dragged you.
Okay, so I want to be 45 feet away from him through camp.
Okay.
So Misty Step plus 15 feet of movement.
That works. So I probably should. Gotta get some more scratch.
If I had just moved, it would have been an attack of opportunity, right?
That's right. Okay. Let me. You could have used your action to disengage, which would prevent that, but you would lose your action.
Better to wake us
That's
up.
okay. We can, as you become aware of this stuff, we can re.
Well, I still think waking everybody up and getting them to roll initiative.
Yeah, I think that was still a very efficient use of your
feels-
turn, so
Yeah,
I'm not
and
too
you got
sad
far
about
away.
it. Let's see, is this all normal stuff?
Because when you guys attack, it might draw attention away from me,
Yeah.
who needs to not.
Well, luckily I rolled I have a 20 for initiative, so hopefully it's the first.
Flash, sweet scratch.
Your initiative is plus 20.
No, mine. I rolled an 18 plus 2, so 20.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Just add a 0 next to that.
It's a giant. Do we know
A
anything about
a
giants?
frost giant.
Frost
You have
giants.
a Colossus killer, so that seems
I
fitting.
do. I do.
This is
Alright,
a
here we go.
Colossus
Here's
if ever I
one
saw a
extra
Colossus.
I have a literal sense. Actually, no. There's a weeping colossus.
That's true.
In the game as
Maybe
well.
saying
That's
that.
even more of a literal.
Okay, so you guys, I'm going to do kind of a small map here because you're on this very, very narrow mountain trail. Your camp is about here, and the frost giant is over at the far end. So I'll put camp, and then I'm going to use, because I'm probably going to have to reuse this. So you guys are like right there. So the camp is where the sea is. So most everybody's here. Frost giant.
You wanna use other dice?
Yeah. Frost giant is beautiful. Frost giant is over here, and Hypochondrius is a little further back because he took off. He's like, "F this, I'm out of here." Yeah.
Okay. My initiative roll was 20.
Okay. That is. Gosh, can I not hold on to papers? What's wrong with me? Writing that here, and there's the foxes. So you're probably up next. Unless initiative for you.
14.
14.
No.
Oh, I was at a 6.
Beating you about 1.
Yeah, you too. Yeah.
Great.
I need to get some armor at some point.
Yeah, we should upgrade our armor if we can.
My 12 armor class is not going to benefit me.
Yeah, you're gonna have
Pretty
a
much
time
ever.
with that. Yeah. But you can't use that much. You're not really able
I think
to
there's
use that much. In
Are
terms
there
of
spells that I can take that temporarily?
protection will buff your AC.
Yeah, okay.
But you can't. You can only use cloth armor, I think, as a wizard, or else it limits your spell.
So I might be able
casting.
to get it 1 or a couple points higher. But
Yeah, I don't know. I should check the handbook on that.
getting a phone
Unless you
call.
find some
Yeah, no worries,
magical
no worries.
Hey dude, what's up?
lizard claw.
Hey man, how are you?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm not gonna forget Morty this time.
Yeah.
Morty's got an attack.
Oh, that's true, Morty. What's Morty's initiative?
I think Morty just goes after me. I don't need
Okay.
rolls for.
I'll just write it in so I don't forget as well. And Paddington should roll initiative.
Oh, Paddington.
Paddington's our heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Really is though. These
The only
days.
reason we survive these fights.
Paddington carries. Oh, Paddington, our Lord and Paddington.
Paddington, our Lord and Savior.
Huh?
Paddington, our Lord and Savior.
Indeed, he has been.
Okay.
It's time for some combat
Yeah,
juice.
should I,
Yeah.
should I wait for him?
Some whiskey, get some booze, whatever you guys need. What's that?
Should I wait before I go?
Go ahead and make your
Who's
turn,
last,
actually.
right?
Go ahead and make your turn. She's not
Okay,
going to move for a while.
Well, I see what's going on. I rub sleep out of my eyes and kind of like get myself geared up. Immediately just enter a rage and like burst through whatever my nightgown, my little frilly nightgown that I was wearing.
So you're just like in the nude?
Yeah. It's okay, I'm an orc.
No
it's
armor?
fine.
What's your natural AC?
I don't wear armor. Just leather. Just the leather or whatever.
But
I wear it underneath my
underneath your bedclothes, okay, that's fine.
obviously, just in case.
Okay, because I was like, alright,
leather
everybody.
at your disposal all the times.
Which whiskey should we drink?
Anyone you want.
Anyone?
I mean, I don't have that many fancy ones. Drink whatever looks good. That one's yummy. Johnny's is good. Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah, Curl loves that. These are all whiskeys that Curl buys and then just leaves here when he's toasted.
And then comes back
So.
and drinks the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he
Okay.
comes back next week and he's like, oh great, my
So
whiskey's
I
here.
enter rage and
Not if I'm
Not if
have
I can
anything
help
to do
it.
with it.
No, have as much as you want. Alright, so you enter a rage in your bonus
move
action.
towards
Move
this
towards
giant
big frost giant.
and just take a big swing at one of his legs, or whatever is within
Okay.
reach with my great axe. So that's not gonna hit.
What'd you get?
A 9.
No, that's not gonna hit.
Okay, that's
And
it.
that's it. Okay, and then up next is the frost giant. So he's going to turn as you run up to him to attack. He's going to take 2 swings at you with his enormous great axe.
Yo.
That is going to be a crit, unfortunately. And that's like a 19.
Yeah,
Alright. So that's going to really hit pretty hard.
I
You're in a
have
rage,
resistance.
though. Yeah.
I have resistance. It's still
1,
gonna hurt.
3. That's great. 14. 24.
see it
Feather Widget took some hits.
Hmm?
Feather Widget took some hits.
Just got asked to be a groomsman for the first time.
Balder?
Congrats!
Were you expecting him to?
I guess it could have been. It was on the table, but like it could have gone either way for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yay.
it's not-
Fun.
And in the meantime, you take 46 points of slashing damage.
Did you say 4d6 or 46?
4
It's
d6.
okay, I get to cut it in half, guys. I'm good.
I'm gonna scoop by again. I forgot my wine glass over there.
Yeah, we got some whiskey, and you can, if you, something else looks better, grab it. Feel free.
Okay.
You can do.
Did you put that white wine in the fridge?
I think we cached it. Oh, the white wine. The white wine is in the fridge. Yeah, grab it.
Do you mind if I take some?
Feel free. Feel free. I'll use it for shrimp tomorrow night.
There you go. There you go. Alright, well,
Okay.
I'm still kicking. I'm good.
You still kicking?
So I
Okay.
cut that in half.
Yep, that's good. Now it is on
14.
I-
Okay.
Wexley.
So I run back towards Hypochondrius and put a loving and supportive hand on his shoulder, and then cast a. Let's do a second level Cure Wounds.
I like the way this cleric like heals through awkward massages.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Hey,
Buster.
Hey, buddy!
Hey, brother.
You know how well I do with people touching me.
So you're gonna get
Tell your
2d8,
daughter, you know, die.
2d8 plus 4.
Thank you.
That's a
8.
lot.
Oh. Do it.
Oh, 2, 10, 14 points.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay. That's a good setup.
That's like one hit from max.
Oh.
Actually, that's like a third of a hit. But, you know, who's counting?
Yeah, that was a near one shot.
It was very near one shot.
It was very
yeah,
near
it was
one.
not pretty. Yeah, it's rough when it's the healer that messes up watch. Or not the healer, but the squishy.
Yeah.
Alright, so Paddington is going to make an attack.
Yeah!
Woo!
Oh, he's going to miss miserably, so he just, because he's so distraught
Paddington.
that,
Why can't we
that,
hit?
you know, Hypochondrius is wounded, he just is flailing. He's just in a panic, a ragey panic. And he unfortunately
Why
misses.
can we never roll when it comes to a battle?
He has rolled it. He's saved you guys a few times.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, me and
the rest
everyone
of us,
else,
though.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now it is on Pikel.
And
Okay,
Morty.
so definitely Hunter's Mark that shit.
All right. Boom. Hunter's mark.
Uh,
That's a bonus action.
Yes.
Okay.
And then with my normal action, hold on, I'm trying to. Hunter's Mark is how much? Okay, we'll cast second level. Oh, I have third level spell slots now. No, I don't. Never mind. Sorry. Second level Hunter's Mark, which gives me an extra 1d6. Right.
Okay.
Is this your Christmas tree?
Yeah. I just put lights on my normal bush.
Okay. And then longbow shot.
The sad thing is I'm still classless and it's on after Christmas, so it's on after New Year's. Still bodes ill.
21. Does that hit?
That'll hit.
Yay.
Nice. All right. So 1d8 plus 3 plus 1d6 for Hunter's Mark plus 1d. Has it taken any damage yet?
It has not.
Okay, so my Colossus Slayer won't apply.
That's awesome. That's a big hit.
It won't apply.
No.
No. But even without it,
Oh,
it'll
okay.
still be a big hit, I hope. One hopes.
One would hope.
Run.
One would hope. Oh, man.
7 plus 3 is 10. Plus another 1d6. 11. So 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. That'll fly.
And then Morty has got to take his turn.
I don't know where.
Oh, no.
This is a pretty big guy up there, Rick.
I guess since I'm Pikel, Morty should be like a girl name too. So maybe he'll be Morticia.
What's he share?
Morticia.
I don't know, Rick.
Okay.
They take a bite attack, right?
Yeah.
You.
So it says +4 to hit on Morty.
Yeah, that's fine.
But then it also says an additional bonus to attack equal to Ranger's proficiency bonus.
So it's probably press 2. So it's probably press 6 to hit.
Plus 6 to hit. Okay.
If your proficiency is usually plus 2 at this level, or
Okay,
plus 2.
I'll just believe you. That's 21.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Hits! Alright, so I can do 2d4 plus 2, or I can just say 7. I'm just gonna say 7.
Alright.
I don't feel
7
lucky
it is.
tonight.
Alright, so 7 more points of damage as
Nice.
Morticia. Oh, I don't know, Rick!
Is the target a creature?
It is indeed.
It must succeed on a DC 11 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
It is knocked prone.
Nice.
So the hulking colossus of
Get
the
him,
Frost
Morticia!
Giant falls on his ass.
And stay down.
Sit down.
And now it is on Hypochondrius.
Cool. I'm gonna cast a 3rd level fireball.
Nice.
Alright.
So that is going to be a 8d6.
Nice.
It has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, you lucky. It is a 4.
It didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Great.
not going to happen.
Okay. So that's 8d6. So.
And it's on its butt, so it actually would be a disadvantage. So I'm going to still 4.
1, 3, 4.
1, 3, 4.
Okay, I'm just gonna say these out loud. 1, 3, 4, 2, 3. 1, 3, 4, 2, 3. 2, 6.
8,
3, 4,
10,
2,
11,
3.
12, 13, so 19 altogether.
19 damage?
How many? No, how many was that? That wasn't 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6 is only 5.
Okay.
1, 3, 4, 2,
1, 3, 4,
6.
2, 6, there's 5.
So that's
No,
19.
1, 3, 4, 3, 6.
1, 3, 4, 3, 6. And you have 3 more then.
3 more.
Okay, 3 more. So we're at 19.
So 19.
19, 23, 27, 32.
32.
Alright,
Nice.
so
32 fire damage.
you see the
Nice.
frost giant trying to like sit up, and then as it sits up, a enormous ball of flame.
For what it's worth, it does hit anybody in a 20-foot radius. But, hold on, but
I get to make a dexterity saving throw, right?
I
Your
think
save.
no, I have sculpt spells. You automatically succeed on it, and they take no damage if they would normally take half damage. You take no damage.
Okay.
Sculpt spells, which applies to 1 plus the spell's level, so 4 creatures in a radius of my choice
Mhm.
don't take damage.
Well, it's just Feather Widget, so you guys lucked out. So, Feather Widget looks over. This frost giant looks over. There's a huge ball of fire flying towards both of you, but it jukes around Feather Widget and just blows up in the frost giant's face, and it's like lit aflame, and you hear it just roars and kind of echoes, and snow falls from the cliffs
Is it doing
above.
extra because it's fire?
You would have to notice that.
How does
To
it
observe
look?
it. It's a roll perception.
Not 20.
Oh yes. Well,
Nice.
it would happen regardless.
see
it's just
that-
whether or not we'd notice.
Yeah, yeah. You see it scream in abnormally high pain.
That's what I thought. So I just
Um,
made that 20 on that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it did.
so it actually did more damage than you said, and we just had to roll to know?
it did more
Yeah.
damage than he said, and because it's like a resistance, right?
Got it.
So it's like
Susceptible.
or susceptible or weakness.
Yeah.
It's fire,
Okay.
but yeah, you have to like be looking. It's kind of like
Oh, I'm
taking the
looking.
training wheels off. I'm trying to like let you guys actually
Got
like scope for these
crystal
things.
clear vision on
Yeah.
that. It's 20/20 vision.
You sense that he took
2020.
50% more damage. You sense that.
51.7%.
You know it to the bones. That bastard. He'll pay for what he did to your family. Okay, so then it's now Featherwidget's turn.
Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna take another swing at this bad boy.
All right.
Hopefully I'll hit this time. Let's check it. 13?
13?
Yeah.
That'll miss.
Yeah.
So Feather Widget just getting so startled by
So
seeing a
sneaky.
fireball come flying for her face, just is like
woke up.
just
Just
hits.
woke up.
Yeah, you see some sparks fly where her axe hits
Ugh.
the ground, the stone, but it's not unfortunate connection. Now it is the Frost Giant. So it sees somebody just threw a huge fireball at it. Though it is prone, it will still pick up a rock and hurl it towards Hypochondrius.
What a fan.
18.
That does hit.
No! Are you still near it? Why does it keep aggroing you?
Well, because he just threw the hardest attack of all of you guys.
Oh.
13, 22,
Yes.
29.
I collapse.
Oh.
So Hypochondrius throws a fireball, and a rock comes flying back and just knocks him on his ass. And Hypochondrius is unconscious.
Where are you?
He's right
Back by the
next to
fire.
him.
So he's very far away.
Well, I'm near
So
them.
we're all-
I'm near
wait,
them,
yeah,
but far
yeah.
from him,
My
right?
my thought is, wouldn't it be throwing at a disadvantage because it's prone?
I mean, it did.
Oh.
I rolled it at
Oh,
disadvantage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. And that was the lowest, was 18.
Well, because it has +9 to attack.
Oh wow.
So it got 7. But
So
yeah.
we're all near each other except for you. You ran into melee range of the giant.
Wouldn't it be 16?
Yeah, I mean, but that's the same for him.
I have
Okay.
12.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
I just
that would make a
just
difference for me.
misadded, and I was
Okay.
like, I know it doesn't
You
matter.
can almost roll a 1 and it wouldn't.
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna hit. There's just not a doubt in my mind.
Okay, because
Unless he gets a 3.
Yeah, okay, wait, so,
Yeah.
sorry, map refresher, where is everyone?
This is
the
the
only
campfire.
Okay,
Everybody's clustered around here, except here's the giant, and somewhere near here is Feather Widget.
and where
Yeah.
are you? You
Here.
ran over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
I'm
then
only
the rest of us are here.
15.
that's right. And
feet
Feather
from the center
Widget's
of
Feather
camp.
Widget's up
Okay.
here with the giant.
I'm 15 feet away from the center of camp.
Cool.
okay.
I don't start making death saves until next turn.
Yep. Next time your turn comes up, unless someone heals you between now and then.
Is it my turn now?
Yep.
So, because I'm annoyed that Hypochondrius got knocked unconscious right after I heal him, I punch him in the face, but then leave my hand there and start conducting healing power.
All right.
After
So
that,
so go ahead and
That's a
roll
death.
a
That's
roll
fail,
attack.
it doesn't matter.
Roll attack.
Alright. 14 plus what's
That'll hit. And then
Yes.
roll a 1d4 for unarmed damage.
Wait, where's the D4?
That one.
This one?
The little triangle, yeah.
4.
So you fail a death save,
Okay.
but you can.
But I'm healing you anyways. So
I don't notice anything.
He doesn't feel a
You're
thing.
dead.
I'm gonna
He won't
cast
feel a thing.
a 3rd level Cure Wounds.
Wow.
Because how many?
Let's
What's
take a
your max
really nice
HP?
long rest after
My
this
max
one.
HP is 32.
Okay. This is 3d8
Or
plus
37. 37, sorry.
Yeah, this is 3d8 plus 4. So 1, 6, 7, 7, 14.
15.
What?
He's doing 1
Oh
second.
yeah, 15, 19.
19.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oof. So then you jump up, you feel great, but you kind of have this black eye for some reason. You're not really sure why. It must have been the rock.
Yep.
And then
I won't say a
I
word.
could have sworn that rock hit me in the chest, but my jaw is killing
It's
me.
killing me. I must have had my head leaning down. Now it is on Paddington, who's going to
Paddington.
rush forward
Paddington!
by a Feather Widget, and he's going to succeed on this attack.
Yes!
So he's going to rush forward here. And he is going to... I'm actually going to use this dice instead, because it's easier. And he is going to do 10... 15 points of slashing damage.
Paddington, our savior.
So, yeah, and then he, gives you guys a thumbs up from behind. And then now it is on Piquel, Riquel, and Morticia.
Morticia! Okay, another longbow shot. Sure, that won't hit. That's a 16.
Will hit.
Yay!
Oh, it will. Nice.
It will indeed.
All right, so 1d8 plus 3, plus 1d6 for Hunter's Mark, and then plus 1d8 for Colossus Slayer.
Yep, that's right. That's gonna be a pretty heavy hit.
7,
All right.
9, 13.
All right. So 13 points of damage.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So then you take your aim, and the giant is still struggling to get up, and immediately an arrow snaps him in the shoulder, and it puts him down again. So it is 13. You said.
Was that with your additional?
That was
Two.
with everything, and now Morticia goes.
Nice. It's almost.
Yeah,
It's
Morticia.
looking like you can tell that there's some like kind of bluish blood oozing out from the various wounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm getting sick.
And don't die.
I'm trying.
We'll stay away.
I know.
And then I stick
Take
Morticia
a
on
second.
him
Take
again.
my wine glass over here.
That is a
Yeah.
16.
Will
Was 16
the
hit?
same. A 16 will hit.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah. Okay.
16 will
Hits
hit.
anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good. You're good.
So let's do another 7 points of damage.
All right. So your Morticia comes up and just attacks him again, and it's looking even more rough. And it's got to fail a save, or else it stays back on its ass. 15.
15 saves.
So then the frost giant wrestles the wolf off of him, gets back to its feet, and it is now on Hypochondrius.
I will cast another 3rd level fireball.
All right.
So we're gonna do 8d6. What is that? 8d6. And it needs a save, a deck save. So
Okay.
so we're going 3, 9, 11, 13, 19, 22, 24, 25.
So
So
how do you
20
want to do this?
25
Nice.
did
Is it fire damage?
Did he
It's fire
make his
damage, right?
deck save though?
Oh, yes, it is. I save. That's right. Now, this is fire damage. Another fireball.
Yeah, fireball.
How do you want to do this then?
Ooh. He just stood up?
Yeah.
I want to aim right for his ankles. I just
Yeah.
want to take him out right as he's like climbing up. I want to hit him straight out from the ankles and topple him forward, and it just ignites his slowly dying corpse.
Indeed. So as Hypochondrius, as he comes back up from his resurrection, kind of squints his eyes, holds out his hand towards the giant's legs. Enormous fireball erupts, jukes around. 1, 2, 3. It's a 3rd level spell.
3rd level, so 1 plus 3.
Okay.
So I
So
can
then
do 4 targets
you can do
total.
4
Can
targets.
just not take
So it
damage.
jukes through the other targets and lands right on this enormous frost giant's ankles. Its legs evaporate, it collapses face first and bursts into flame and disintegrates back to the rock from which it emerged. And
Woo!
Okay, let's sleep.
unfortunately the sun is coming up over the corner, and you can take another long rest and gamble a night, or you can try to go into town, which is just around the bend.
Is there anything valuable I find in looking through the frost giant?
So on the frost giant's corpse, you see among the ashes, you see a purse, and that purse has 200 gold pieces.
I take it.
And
Can I take its great axe? That does 3d12 damage.
it's his ability that makes the great axe do that much damage, but you can take a great axe.
Is it any different than my great axe?
You sense that it has some magical properties.
Take it. I have no sense of. I have like no magical ability except speaking with animals. But
How much gold
Yeah.
did you
Your
say?
current axe isn't
200.
Yeah, but a great axe is kind of like sitting right where his ashes and kind of dirt. It's like among the rubble of what his
I'll
body
take
was.
it. Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
exchange it with the axe that I currently have.
Okay, so you're gonna sort of tune to the new one. So it's gonna do. So you don't know what it does yet. You're not
That's
attuned to it, but it will just work like your old one until you attune to it.
That's fair.
I'll So I've been doing this wrong. Morticia was supposed to have advantage on attacks
Oh.
if somebody is within 5, if an ally is within 5 feet. But
Well, I
Morticia
think
has
she
a-
almost hit most of them anyways, but yeah, I'll make sure to remember that. Magic Great Axe from Australia.
Like sneak attack or something?
Yeah.
No, it's like if an ally, it's pack tactics. So if an ally is nearby. And I think my bonus was supposed to apply to the damage too. Oops. Oh well. Cool.
All
Is
right,
that-
so then you guys are back on the trail. So as you can either distribute that 200 gold or take it all for yourself. Your companions will notice that you are taking like the bag of gold, unless you want to be stealthy about it.
How about 10 gold?
I
for every
look
point of
at
healing?
I look at them, and then I look at all the dust and rubble that's on my chest after him hitting me after that, and then all the fire that's on the giant, and calmly put the bag into my bag, or the bag of gold into my bag.
It's you all, whether you want to say anything about that.
I roll my eyes.
Paddington walks up behind me.
cracks knuckles.
I just say, your eye looks great.
Thank you. I'm working with a new shade, yeah.
So you're about the morning's journey will take you to the town of the halls of the Hunting Axe, the Dwarvish halls there, and there's a few inns and a few small things around there. So as you go into town, you guys are coming in a little bit beat up. You see it's a lot of the same type of dwarves as Athos and his companions, where they're, pretty rugged, big beard, but these are a little bit leaner. They're not like these, kind of like pale skin underground dwarves. They work in fields. They kind of have suntans. They've been up and down a little bit more, outside of ground. And the hall is an enormous, like you see kind of right backed up against one of the corners of the mountain, an enormous kind of like 3-tiered building that rises up, and it looks like it's kind of wood and stone mixed together. And then the surrounding buildings around it, there's like a small town center, a few kind of bits for trade, and those are all just built in wood. And then you see a enormous, like very ornate arch carved into the mountain itself, and then a tunnel within that arch just disappears into darkness. And there's just regular city traffic kind of coming in and going out, and you don't know where Athos and did they give you any? Did they give you guys any ways to contact them? No.
I don't think so.
Athos and
No.
and Bob.
Bob.
And his unfortunate
I don't
companion.
think so. When they sent us off, they said they're going to the nearby town, but that was it.
Okay. So yeah, so they're probably, it's not a big town, so you can probably ask around and find them, or you can probably ask around and find the inn. So you guys are kind of in front of this bigger.
So they've split off from us. They're like.
Yeah, because they left as you guys went up the hill and that was about a day's journey up.
Can we tell if there's anything magical about the big ornate arch?
You'd have to go up close. You all are still a little ways away. So as you, it would maybe be just walking through town to get there. If you all want to, you can. Yeah. All right. So you walk up to the arch, and
Sure.
So you all walk up to the arch, and you see that there's a lot of dwarvish runes. And that's kind of like part of their magic system. And but yeah, it's a lot of runes of that you can't currently tell by looking at it. But yeah, it's imbued with magic. There is some properties to this door, but you cannot tell what by just looking at it. And there are a lot of runes written around
Oh, pretty.
Yeah.
Game plan here.
And dwarves are walking by, and you say, "Oh, you all are tourists, eh?"
Oh yes, I just love dwarves.
I'm not a fan, but yes, tourists.
Yeah. And they're kind of giving you the stink eye because you're an elf, and they're giving you actually the stink eye because you're a half elf as well.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to tell.
Newly discovered.
I know.
Yeah,
Until
so
recently.
they say, we got problems with the elves these days.
I got problems too.
My daddy issues. mommy issues. And they kind of, one of the guys just nods and just watches you and nods and just kind of drifts back off from the crowd. But there's more than a few people who are giving you the stink eye and
Roll for initiative.
a small
The entire town.
a small kind of like pack of sort of tough looking dwarves are starting to kind of like filter through the streets.
Do they look hostile?
Roll perception or insight, whichever you prefer.
Can I just ask the people that we're talking to and be like, is this place not open to outsiders, even those you disagree with?
You ask the guy.
Yeah.
He says, "Well, those elvish outsiders killed one of our men, took the arms off another."
For the record, I only found out I was half elf quite recently. So you can't hold me accountable for something these elves did.
Yeah. They've been holding us accountable for our forefathers for years.
I certainly didn't. I thought I was half human.
Very confusing.
Yeah. Sounds like daddy issues then, doesn't it?
Like I said, I've got problems too.
He kind of glares at you and,
I'm gonna say, Susie, ignore my bodyguard. I said, I am a sage as a disciple of life, come to bless your king and people.
"Why, thank you. You keep some poor company for a sage, so."
It's hard to find cheap help these days.
Understandable. Granted.
What think you of your king?
He's been protecting us against this elvish abomination. That's been... He just does not care. He just looks at you.
I'm just staring at him like deadpan the whole time.
Roll intimidation.
And I
roll
got
intimidation from my
You can roll intimidation too.
I had a
It's very
24 on
tiny.
my perception.
Oh, 24? Okay.
Perception
For the gate?
the gang that's like.
Oh, the gang. Okay, so yes, you can tell that they are hostile, but they're a little bit scared. So at their current odds, they're probably not going to fight you, but if more of them come, they might try to pick a fight because once there's kind of like enough people, they feel they can take you guys down, they will. 11.
Yeah, 5.
So he says, "Listen, you seem to be the chief around here and these idiots. I'd get yourself out of town. I'll give you a piece of advice. You'll get yourself out of town real fast. Our king, we have been dealing with these elves. A couple of 100 years ago, they cooked up some monstrosity, and now it's wrecked half of our mine when we uncovered it. And now we gave it back to the elves, and lo and behold, there's been more deaths on the war fronts from this damn thing.
What sort of monstrosity?
Well, it beats the hell out of me, but I'll tell you, it's got something to do with them too. And if I were you, I'd keep better company. Isn't that right, Bill?" And then like another guy's like, "Yeah," and they kind of like another guy behind him is like, "Yeah."
Thanks.
I just hold up my fingers like this, and I just pretend to squish them because they're so tiny.
Are there many wounded from this monstrosity?
Roll intimidation. We're gonna start a fight here.
Oh my god.
6 or 17.
19. So he says, he cracks his neck and he gives you a push. So you're gonna take an attack, but he's gonna miss. So it's a 1. So he's gonna kind of push and stumble. And
I want to interject and say, listen, dwarf, I don't like you and you don't like me, but we are companions of Athos, and you need to tell us where he is now.
Athos wouldn't hang out with people like you.
Well, contact Athos and let him know we're here. Otherwise, when we find him, we'd like to pass your name along. What was it again?
It was Charles.
Charles. Well, we'll be sure to let Athos know that Charles was not only unwelcoming to guests of other lands, but a little aggressive. That was an attempt at an attack, wasn't it?
He says,
it's a little hard to tell,
Grab her
but-
boobs.
They are luxurious. I know.
and he says, "Perky." And he says, "All right, Bill, go get Athos. If you all aren't telling the truth, we'll have some more words." So Bill ducks off into town. He comes back a few minutes later with Athos, and Athos is kind of like, huffing and puffing. He says, "Oh, how are you?" And he gives you guys a big hug and
I'm gonna give
welcomes you.
him a big hug and squish him, and I just look at the guy and I'm just like,
Athos, our new friend Charles here was being incredibly hospitable as we entered your fine
pushed
town.
me, Athos. He pushed me.
He's like, "Well, from what I hear, there was some people from out of town rousing trouble. What were you all doing that pissed them off so much?"
Just looking at this arch.
I think the pointy ears didn't help.
Understandable. Alright, come on in. We better get you out of the streets. So he starts walking down one of the side streets towards the back of town. The town is... Great, I actually brought an extra piece of paper. So the town is kind of square. So the center castle is 3-tiered. And then it's another bigger square around it. Very, very small dirt roads. It's sort of like almost an outpost, and then the arch is here. So you guys were right around here, and he starts leading you back towards this kind of axial street over here on, like, I guess it would be the west-eastern side from your point of view.
Stores and shops. And
Yeah,
things
so you
like
pass
that.
a few stores and shops. Athos walks you to, and it looks like a very, very nice patrician house, like kind of like mid-range, like 2-story wood. It's not like the really, really fancy stone houses or like stone inns that are kind of like littering that will seem like a little bit more permanent. But it's kind of like a nice, like almost captain's outpost where he's, it's been pretty hastily constructed, but it's comfortable, and it has like 2 floors of just kind of like simple wood just laid down for the walls and floor. So he leads you inside and says, "Hey, listen, what are you doing here? I thought you were supposed to go be getting a sage."
Oh, we found him.
No, that's me. I'm Sage.
Hmm?
What?
The sage on the mountain.
Oh, that Sage. Different Sage.
Yeah.
Mhm, he's a good Sage.
He's a
It
good
was
sage.
crazy.
High
but,
quality sage.
Well, I warned y'all.
Alright.
Listen, you all gotta get out of here. We're about to be starting a war in the next couple of minutes.
Minutes.
Well, days, but hasty and time being like it is. None too happy. Bill was the king's son, and when your son loses all his limbs and literally all his limbs, or ball by means, sorry. Yeah, well, causes some challenges. So we are trying very, very desperately to put up as much of a war front because things are going quite poorly, both underground and above ground as well.
You want to lay out that we need the dagger? No?
What y'all
well,
whispering about?
So, before we leave, which we do intend on doing shortly here, surprising as it is, I have an old friend of mine, a dwarf, in fact, that is in town and wanted to meet up with us at the Owl Bear.
That's right. Yeah, that's the inn
Oh, bear.
down the street. It's a bit of a dicey one, but if you all are, I suppose,
I like dice.
somewhat confident in your demeanor,
Of course.
I can take you there and make introductions to the innkeeper. But
We don't need introductions. We've been there before. We'll go now. Just remind us. It was a drunken escapade last time. If you could remind us where it is.
yeah, so he points out it's an inn that is very, very close to the palace, right around here, on kind of that eastern quadrant. So he says, yeah, and he does a rough sketch of the city. He says, well, it's over there. The innkeeper's name, at least the one probably working right now, is named Bartholomew. So you can give him a call. Tell him I sent you.
Thank you.
That we will.
So you see, as he kind of like dismisses you all, he goes in the back of his house, and you can see that there's a few maps and tables of the area, and you see on one of the maps a kind of a red line drawn between the Elven city and the Dwarven city, and then you see what looks like a map of tunnels, and you see some more lines there. You could look further if you wanted to, but that's all you can notice from just a quick glance. That'd be free.
Can I roll a perception check to see how much more I can see on the
Morticia
map?
over there?
I feel like Morticia's. I think I'm stealthier than Morticia. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, go ahead, go
like
ahead.
without being noticed.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll roll
Perception?
perception or stealth. Stealth would be like you kind of like go into the room a little bit. Perception would be that you're just still trying to like look.
I'll do stealth.
Okay.
19.
Yeah, so you, as he's kind of bustering around, you're able to step through the door and peek your head in. And you see that all those lines you saw on the maps are battle lines. The one between the elf city is the dwarves and the elves are starting to go to battle. They're having it, and you see him having marked some skirmishes actually over the path you all took into the mountains, and it seems to have become kind of warred over. But the ones in the underground area don't have any elf names. They're all written in a kind of a strange script, but you see words that you're very vague knowledge. Do you have any dwarvish word knowledge?
I do speak Dwarvish.
Okay, good. So you see words that say fire on one line that's going through a path, fire on the other line that's going through a path. What was the other one he had? Water. That was one that's on one line. Water, fire, fire, water, water, water. And you kind of see each path along that line is kind of listed with a different fire, water, fire, water, fire, water, fire, water.
And these are all underground paths.
This is all the stuff that's happening in the underground paths.
Interesting. I say nothing.
Okay. So y'all are. Athos is kind of running around. He's still kind of aware that y'all are there, but he's giving orders to you. You want the last bed?
No, he's
Oh wow,
supporting the flag.
classy. I like it.
So we now know where that inn is.
Yeah, so you know where the inn is. You know that there is something going on beneath the city, and actually you see from your because you got 19 because from your very special venture you see way beyond the lines, further down, you see a big circle with an X in the middle of it, and that's it.
Alright.
He tells us this.
I will tell you whenever. I mean, Athos is still within your
Yeah, so he's still
I'll
within
share
earshot.
it with you guys.
Yeah. So as you guys go, do you guys want to go to the Owlbear, or do you want to walk around town some more, or go towards the mines?
Athos, before we go get a drink, I fancy a shopping spree.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. It's time.
Where's the nearest Westfield?
In town, there is a armor and clothes store because these are dwarves and they're all preparing for war. So there's a lot of weapons and armory stores. A small apothecary. Gosh, where's my armor thing? A small apothecary, and then a few general stores where they may have some more kind of items and just odds and ends, or even potentially some magical items. There is no library here because this is very much an outpost. So there's no book sources or spell book sources here, unfortunately.
You said there's a clothing store?
There is indeed. There's a kind of an armor and clothing store.
Let's armor up.
Is that there? All right, I'm gonna have to go
I'd
find
I'd
it.
like to start there. I'd like to start with armor clothing.
All right, so you all walk.
Yeah, split up. Well, we can go. We can look at
Shop by shop.
Shop
Yeah.
to shop. Yeah.
All right, so you all walk to
I want you guys to
the.
tell me how things look like, you know.
Oh my god. That battle axe so brings out the color.
That makes your perky nips so perky.
The perkiest of the
You.
perky. Wait, is this the player's handbook? Okay, where's the items section in here?
Near the back.
Hold the phone. I'm going blind.
The front door.
I'm going blind. My oh my.
I'm gonna have another soda if that's
Yeah. You might grab me one as well.
Yeah. I might risk that.
And then throw them. Goodness gracious, where are the items?
Whew.
Equipment. There we go. 150.
This would make them eyes water.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a punch one. I have some ice too, if you would care for some.
It's okay.
Do I
like
look
the
like a
pain.
pansy?
Hey.
Is Wayne Brady? Okay, so yeah, you go into the armor store, and you enter, and there's kind of clothes lying on the shelves. It smells kind of like old leather. And at the very end of the store, you see this just hulking shadow. It's just this it's almost a lump more than a person or a dwarf even. It's just this huge hulking figure at the end of the store. And then as you enter, you hear a voice that says, "Welcome to Bill's Armory!" And
Is that from the hulking figure?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he says, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know.
Morty
And-
likes him, and his tail starts wagging.
His tail
Her
starts wagging, okay,
Her
yeah.
tail starts wagging, and she goes over and like
And pets and makes friends. Okay.
makes friends.
Okay, so then as you see on the wall, there is leather armor, studded leather armor, for 45 gold pieces. There is that might be something the wizard can use. So I think you can use leather armor.
I have no armor proficiency.
Oh,
No.
you can't even wear armor.
No, but I'm looking for something in cloth.
Okay. Let me see what else we got here.
Unfortunately, the only attire I have is what I came in, which is very like formal, decadent-looking attire, and I'm looking for anything that's more of just a shabby cloak kind of thing.
You want to look like a peasant now? Is that what you're
Well, I want to not show up as an elf in a dwarven city.
So yeah, there are some.
I need some kind of hooded cloak.
Yeah.
There are some rough robes. You see 3 of them. One of them is kind of like a different off color, and it seems to have some sort of weird band woven into it. But they all are listed as the same. Just it's obviously something the dwarves don't sell for very much. It just says robes, and then it's 1
And
GP.
does the special shiny one have hood?
It does. They all have hooves. They're all just like kind of cowl robes.
So they could all.
And this one just has something woven in the side. And that's
So
She
can
might
I
get
ask?
that
Can I
sparkle.
ask about what's special about that robe?
He says, I don't know, it's a robe. Or sorry.
Wow.
Says, excuse me.
Something in your throat, sir.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's just one of the robes that we carry on stock. I have no idea. I mean, we don't really sell through them that much, so.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Yes. Let's go ahead and roll me Arcana. Man,
How does
voices
this-
are hard. Excuse me. Oh my gosh.
That is a 21.
Nice.
21. So, yes, there is some sort of arcane energy around it.
Dude,
Around this particular robe. But it still is
Uh,
just priced at 1 gold piece, just like the rest.
Get it. Get it.
Can I Arcana check the other 2?
You did when you looked at that shelf, and they're just robes, and they kind of have all the properties
I'll
of
take.
I
robe.
don't know what it is.
I'm gonna take the 1 gold piece robe.
That's a steal.
Yes.
Yep.
That's like a
I'll take that.
Are you gonna put it on?
Ooh.
Not yet. Well,
It
dude.
makes you invisible.
Would I have to attune to it to?
You will have to. You can either. So I think
You know
you
what?
can spend some time investigating it
Okay.
in the next long rest,
Yeah.
or you can wear it now and attune to it.
I would
Can I
like to wear it
investigate my
now.
accent?
I'm gonna own it. What color is it?
It is like kind of. It's a very similar color to the robe, except for that weird band of cloth. So it's brown.
No, I'm saying like, oh, it's brown. Okay.
Yeah, it's a brown robe. Just kind of some rough, like almost sackcloth with something going through it.
Can I ask
With
the
the gold
shopkeeper
thread.
if I can try it on before purchasing?
Can you? Yeah. So he says, "Oh, actually, I don't know if we can do that. We've had a lot, sweaty dwarves. It's just you just don't want that on the cloth. I mean, would you want to wear a cloth that was worn by a sweaty dwarf?
A cloth.
I'm not a sweaty dwarf.
But would you want to wear something? None of those have been worn by sweaty dwarves. That might give you some happiness to know that.
Good sir, I will offer you 2 gold pieces for purchasing this if you allow me to try it on before the purchase. Yep. Before you say anything, 3.
So pay him
Yeah,
3 gold
yeah,
pieces.
yeah.
He says yes
Well,
Okay.
before purchase.
to just try it on.
Yeah.
Like
No, he's not
three
gonna-
gold.
Oh,
You
if
wanna-
you like
if
it.
you
So
like
I will
it,
give you
you
1
have
gold
to-
now and 2 gold after if you allow me to try this on.
But you can just buy it at that rate.
I will just buy it. You drive a hard bargain, sir.
That's more like it. And so he takes the gold. You have the robe.
I try it on.
So as you put the robe on,
Does it talk to me?
all you feel
Fucking item.
all you feel is just a slight. The clasp as you tie it around your neck just clasps a little tighter than you expected. And go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
That's a great sign. That's
Yeah.
good.
Always good.
This is
Nice.
my-
So you just feel it tighten a little bit tighter, and you just take 1 point of strangling damage. For now.
I'm not attuned to it yet, right?
No, you don't know what it is. But yeah, it just kind of, ooh, ow, ow, it just hurts a little bit.
It fits great.
Yeah.
It fits very well, thank
You're trying to blame it on the fact that you have not gained weight.
Why?
It's normally would fit perfectly. I swear to God, it's just my neck.
I'm a size 2.
Do you need me to help you get that off?
No, I'm fine.
Just let me know. I have
No.
a great axe.
Have a great,
Does
great
it look good?
Yeah, you're getting a little bit red in the face.
That's just my natural color.
Yeah. Yeah, but it loosens. It's manageable. Something you can at least breathe. Okay, but it's just a little snug.
Okay, but I'm gonna pull the hood up.
Okay. Pulling the hood up, and then So in the store, studded leather armor. You see scale mail.
How does this work? Do we get to know the stats?
Yeah,
before we buy?
so leather armor. So studded leather is 12 plus whatever your dex modifier is. Scale mail is 14 AC plus your dex modifier. Half plate, and you see a big, massive, and it's like in one of those little golden cases, and it's very expensive. Half plate is 15 plus your dex modifier, but all your stealth will be disadvantaged. Same with the scale mail. Everything is disadvantage on stealth. And then you see one splint mail for an AC of 17, but you have to have a certain strength to even be able to wield it. And a shield in the corner.
Is it shield?
What's the shield?
Just plus 2 AC, but you have to have a free hand.
I can take a shield.
Great Axe is 2-hand.
I'm
Alright.
really strong though. I can use a one hand.
If it says you can do that in your character sheet, well, we can do it, but usually shields would be like a rogue type thing. Or maybe like a wizard give a
Where does
wand.
it tell me?
Or using a quarterstaff.
I'm quarterstaff.
Yeah.
I don't think I've discovered one.
Yeah.
Of those armors that you listed,
Mm-hmm.
are they light, medium, heavy?
The medium is the scale mail and the half plate. Light is the studded leather, and heavy is the split mail.
What was the stats for the light one again? The
The
studded leather?
studded leather was 12 plus your dex modifier.
Okay. Slightly better than mine. How much is it?
It is 45 gold.
It's only one more than my current armor. Is that worth it? I feel
Yes.
like it is, really?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Okay. Alright.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, it's
The
like
difference between like 13 and 14. You know.
yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
Alright.
Okay, so you get purchase
that.
studded leather armor. You have
Treat myself.
12 plus your dex modifier. You should be able to just type in studded leather and it will know what that is.
Okay.
Can I check out
If
the
not-
weapons now? Or are they
Yes,
done?
so the weapons are on the reverse side of the store. You kind of go through the back door, or you go through like a little passageway, and like the counter is wrapped around, so it turns around. You see, where are my weapons? Yeah, okay. So you see a number of clubs and great clubs. You see, where are the mattock? You'll have a dwarvish mattock.
What's that?
It's like a pickaxe almost. That's kind of like weaponized, a little sharper, like a war pick. I think would be like the right word for it. And in the very back of the store, you see a old war hammer, and that's what you see.
Does it seem like any of them are better than things I have?
So the warhammer will do 1d8 bludgeoning. Mattock will do, the war pick will do 1d8 piercing, and then the other ones are like 1d4s and 1d6s.
Lame.
Yeah, not
It
much.
just burns like a mouth though.
No, it tastes fine, but for some reason my eyes were watering when I would hold it near my face. It tastes like
It's pretty good.
though. It tastes good.
Whiskey.
Guess
Okay.
I'll stick with my great axe.
Stick with your great axe, all right?
My special magical great axe.
Yeah, I know. What a horrible turn of fate. All right, Wexley, anything you want to buy?
Nope. Everything
Leather-
that's better anyway.
What's your armor? Studded leather armor might not be a
I
bad
have
thing.
my black earth guard scale mail.
Oh,
It's
that's pretty good.
plus 18.
Yeah,
Plus
that's
18.
pretty good.
Yeah, I have a 21 AC.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's super squishy, but I have a really high AC.
Wow.
He's a skeezy little guy.
Where do I have to find something? No, I can't really rage in armor
Yeah, it's just tougher. Okay, so then as you walk down the main avenue, heading towards the Owlbear, you.
Wait, we're-
Are we
There are
done?
other
Did we want to go to any of the?
Oh, I was gonna
general
say, yeah.
stores?
There's some more stores. So you see a potion store, a small. It's like a very small top carry. It's just gonna be like healing potions and a few things.
Let's go there.
Okay. So going to the potion store, you see 3 or 4 potions of lesser healing, 1 potion of greater healing, and then 1 restoration potion, which is kind of this like blue solution.
Do we know what it does?
It will restore 1 level 1 spell slot.
I will take a potion of greater healing.
That will be 60 gold.
Okay.
How much is the restoration potion?
That will be 80 gold.
No thanks.
Good. Okay.
Thought about it though.
It's not.
You
a
said
bad
there was a
deal.
general store as
I
well,
have
right?
so much gold.
Yeah, in a general store. They won't have potions, but they'll be maybe just like odds and ends, random trinkets, items that maybe have magical properties sometimes.
Can we go inside and
Yeah,
do an
poke
arcana?
around.
Can I do an arcana
let's
check
go.
on the inventory?
Yeah, so you go into the general store. It looks like one of those places you see along the freeway where there's just like a lot of like these little janky trinkets like on one of the big things, and there's like some like
There's some
there's
magnets.
some meat kind of
and-
spinning on like some sort of like spinning apparatus where there's heat beneath it. Yeah, and yeah. So and there's a few. There's like one like
Can I do a
really.
sanitation check?
Go ahead and roll roll perception.
By the
You
way,
would not enter this store if you would be too afraid to go into this store, and everybody else would have to go in instead.
Yeah, I
That's right.
19. I'm not going in.
Yeah, that's not. It's not clean. It's not clean at all.
I refuse to enter.
Ah!
I see the meat spinning.
I'm just
Turn
like,
around.
I can't do
there's some
this.
flies buzzing around.
Yeah, a lot of flies.
Immediately
Just
out.
So do you all go in? So yeah, you see a few like items. You see some like kind of like janky necklaces.
Ooh.
Like you see a few rings, but most of them look like they're kind of formed out of like wood but painted on metal. But yeah, that's kind of what you see.
Pretty.
Quick question: when we add things to our inventory, is it supposed to like automatically deduct the gold cost, or do you have to do it manually?
You would have to do it manually.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what you all see.
Can I look at the necklaces?
Yep. So
Check that
there's
pretty one.
a few kind of like, silvery ones. There's ones that look like they're kind of made out of like this like kind of like resinous material. Almost doesn't look like it's real metal. And then you can give me a perception check to see.
Can I perception check also?
Yes, indeed.
Not one.
They just kind of look like crappy necklaces, but you can buy one if you'd like.
21.
21. So you notice that one of them seems to be like a little like it seems to be actually made of steel and has like this kind of like weird. It doesn't have a jewel on it, but it's just kind of this like thick steel band with like these weird etchings around it. And that looks like it's real metal. And
I
looks like
tell-
it's at least better quality.
I tell Morticia to go like nibble on it slightly to see if it's real metal.
So Morticia walks up and it's about to open its mouth, and you hear this like older dwarf lady that's like, "Hey, get your dog out of my necklaces."
She's just overly excited.
I'm sure.
Ooh.
And then she takes a drag of what looks like a small kind of like rolled up tobacco type device. Yeah. It kind of puts it into some like metal tray or like some like little like plastic or glass tray that she's just dropping the ash into.
What can you tell me about that necklace there?
I don't know. We got it from one of our vendors in the main city. There's some elvish city.
Elvish.
Yeah, well, it's not selling so great these days, man. Not too many fans of the elves in these parts.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. And she kind of looks at you too, but I guess you're
I'm
wearing
out.
I gotta.
He's not
Yeah,
even
you're
in the
outside,
shop
so
yet.
yeah, she looks at you and she's just like,
I want to get a. I want to take it a hood too. Then.
right, just you have one. Put it on.
Also checked. Also checked.
So take a gold piece off.
How much is that necklace?
I don't know, maybe like 8 copper.
You do have a hard bargain.
Yeah.
How about 5 copper? And I'll take it off your hands.
She's like, 1 silver.
I don't know what the conversion is.
A
10
lot more. That's like 10 times as much as 8 copper. A little bit more than.
Yeah,
Right?
so it's in units of 10. So 1 copper, or sorry, one gold is 10 silver.
Oh.
1 silver is 10 copper. So it's sort of
So
like,
it went up by 2.
yeah.
Okay. Come on. There's
Roll
a war
me-
going on. No one's
roll
who's gonna buy that from
me-
you.
Let's see what would be. It would be. Roll me a straight
You don't-
charisma check here.
You don't want any dwarves to come by and think that you're a sympathizer with the elves, do you?
She kind of looks at you. Okay, roll me persuasion and or charisma.
I'm not strong in either of those things. Oh. Wait, charisma's not in the same category as persuasion, right? It's like
No, charisma's like one of your
This
master,
is
your big
streets.
ones.
Yeah.
Abilities.
Oh, okay.
Persuasion will probably be higher.
It'll be
They're the same for me. Woo! 21.
nice.
All right,
Did
5.
you just roll that?
I got a 20
Yeah, nat
plus
20.
a 1.
Oh, nat.
Oh, right,
just
right.
nat 20,
yeah.
nat 20.
Yeah, not 20.
Nice.
Fine, and she takes
All
it and
for 2
says 5.
copper.
All right, 2 copper. And so she says 2 copper, hands you the necklace, or hands you the necklace, and it's kind of these like this little metallic kind of design, like sort of these like little metal plates, and they kind of look like shields up close.
I'm looking through the window and I send a message to her saying, "It's not your color."
And that should really go to me.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Hashtag catty.
2 copper.
Best haggler.
That has no meaning in this world. So the lady takes a drag from her little thing that says, "Anything else?"
Is this all you've got?
She just stashes her cigarette. Just keeps looking at you.
Have a wonderful day, man.
John.
You just look so beautiful today. I just want to let you know.
She's got like those like big moles.
Yeah.
Of course.
It just touches my heart to see such beauty in such an ugly town, I mean, beautiful. I mean, I'm gonna leave now.
She puts her cigarette out in her hand and lights another one.
I'm
As you
very
walk out the door.
intimidated, so I leave.
Yeah, okay, so then you all are back in the town square. There's kind of a similar outlay of stores, but I think you've hit most of them. What's next?
Can I
Can we rest?
Sure. Yeah.
You probably have to get rooms.
Yes,
at
we
the
go to
Owlbear.
Owlbear.
Let's go to the owlbear.
Or in the inn.
I very much pull up my hood right
yes,
now.
yeah.
Me
So,
too.
Yeah, and keep my head down.
Me too.
I look
Okay,
as
so-
unelfy as possible.
Oh yeah, he's half elf too.
Stealth. You're half elf? You
Oh,
sneaky sneaker.
Sneaky.
So you roll stealth at disadvantage because you don't have a hood.
And also,
You two
well,
roll
she's a
stealth.
double disadvantage because my mail gives me disadvantage on stealth.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
Is
Yeah.
there
Well,
such
you can only
thing as
get
double
you can only get disadvantage once. It doesn't stack.
Okay.
Probably for the best.
Can I also roll Arcana to see if I can find out anything else about
Yeah.
the necklace?
Yes, absolutely.
And I rolled a 16 stealth.
You put it on or have you not put it on?
I haven't
yet?
put it on.
Okay.
I just want to know what I can know about
You got a 16.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one.
That was a 4 for you. Because of disadvantage. It was a 19 the first time.
We're all rolling stealth? Is that what's happening?
No,
Right,
just
what
the
are you?
people who
Oh,
have
you're
elvish
dragon.
Just the
lineage.
elvish.
12.
Okay, so you all walk into the bar, and the people with the hoods are pretty. You both take up a table, but as you walk in, someone just like thumps against your shoulder pretty hard. That'll hit. That'll do 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Just kind of
bruising damage.
Just bruising. You just kind of rock back against the wall. And you say, "Hey, elf, what brings you here?" And it's one of like the bouncers that's kind of like let them pass.
I'm here to heal your sick and cure your elderly.
The sick that y'all people created.
Maybe the full elves.
Yeah. All right, roll me persuasion, full elf.
19.
Says, yeah. You do look like one of them half-breeds.
Yes.
One of those aberrations they get from running around and pillaging, I imagine.
Yeah. Either that or my mother was a freak, I don't know.
God. See, I'm disgusted. He shoves you inside, but you're able to kind of like stumble into the bar, and like everybody else like glares at you. But the bouncers let you pass. They're all kind of giving you the stink eye, but because the bouncers let you in, they seem to be like acknowledging your presence and allowing it.
Can I tell PKO, or can you get us a room?
I'm already at the bar.
Or you're,
She's pounded 3 drinks in.
I've already, yeah.
I message PKO because we're sitting at a table, right?
Yeah.
I message PKO, we call him, say,
Paddington get us a room.
is Paddington inside or outside with us?
Paddington has just been following along, so they kind of just accept him as an accessory of their party.
Yeah.
I messaged PKO saying, while you're drowning yourself in a good time over there, if you could manage to get us a couple rooms, that wouldn't be the end of the world.
I'm thirsty. So as you were in the bar, you see a few low tables, the bar where PKL is sitting. At the far door, you see the storage room, and this is kind of a sketchy bar. Seedy people, a lot of flies just kind of spinning around above the tables. The tables are kind of cracked and warped. And in that back door, you see another bouncer. And you see the innkeeper, he's kind of going back and forth between... there's a stairway that goes up to the second floor where the rooms are, and then there is this kind of like stairway that goes down, and that's where the guard is standing stationed. And the innkeeper's going back and forth, bringing up fresh kegs of ale, bringing up some like baked goods, food, and stuff like that, and provision if people are ordering it.
That's probably where we need to go.
So I'm-
But you wanted to get rooms.
Let's do that first.
As the
since I need
innkeeper
to
goes
heal up.
by, what do they look like?
The innkeeper is a dwarf, but this guy is like kind of more well trimmed. He's sort of like the up and coming business owner that's like has to deal with like the really crappy people, but he's like trying to make his place upscale. So he's got like a pretty nice place on, bolo tie, you know, looking relatively put together. You know, nice white shirt with suspenders. You know, and his beard's kind of going over the front, but he has like, you know, glasses on. A little bit more like the educated type, but he's just working it. He's like sweating, working his ass off. Sweat soaked through his shirt as these people are just like, "Hey, give me another X, Y, or Z. Give me another beer. Give me another whiskey." And then he's just kind of like, "Oh God, I mean, I didn't sign up for this in business school." You know, like, you know.
Yeah, as he goes by, I compliment him on the delicious beverages that he has in his establishment, and I offer to help.
Thank you. It's you know, it's special brewed, home brewed microbrew. I made it myself. It's got some Bavarian hops. And kind of like, now that these people appreciate it. And he brings 2 tables out and he says, "Yeah, if you want to help, well, you know, do you need pay? You know, we're a small business here."
I take my pay in liquid form.
All right, and he plops a beer where you're sitting. He hands you a tray with 4 more beers and he says, "Table 5."
Right away.
All right, so you go over to table 5. Give me it's a crazy bar, so give me a dexterity check.
Ooh, I'm strong in dexterity.
Or an acrobatics check, actually, would probably be the best one.
Acrobatics.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
I
fine.
think that's a dex modifier anyways.
Oh, normally good, but it's a 7 this time.
Okay, so then you're able to kind of get through. One of the bottles, like, tips on the side, but you're able to kind of catch it with one hand and barely get the things to the table. You see all the dwarves, like, kind of like,
It's my first day.
Of course it is.
It's my first day.
It's my first time. They say, "Oh,
I'm
oh
melding
my."
this to her.
So you hear this like pinging sound and like a silver coin. A silver coin flicks up and lands on the tray. So you get 1 silver for your tip. And then so you hustle back to the bar and there's a beer waiting for you. One of the nice microbrews made by.
This is a good gig.
We don't know his name yet.
How are those rooms coming?
We're never gonna get her back. This is her new job.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is what I
I've
feel.
left the party. This is my
Gargosh.
Gargosh left the party.
Gargosh.
Gargosh.
Yeah. So he says, "All right.
We'll come back.
What do you all want? Thanks for the help. What can I do?" And he kind of looks across you four, who I'm sure are all gathered at the bar.
Hood down still.
Hood
Yeah,
down, hood
just
down.
put down.
Yeah, he doesn't really notice you guys. You all both kind of
Luckily, I
slump on your
mostly
shoulders.
look like an orc.
Is he talking
Yeah.
to me or the whole
It's just
group?
leaders. He's talking to the whole group because he sensed that you guys were with him. Unless you want to like intentionally
No,
separate
it's-
yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
the whole group is.
Some rooms would be nice.
All right.
Just
2.
do you have them?
He says, "You know, you all were very kind. I'm a little full. We've got some drunks that stay upstairs, but I'll kick them out." And you see him kind of disappear up.
That won't cause a problem, right?
Find out. He kind of goes upstairs, pulls 2 dudes,
We'll find out.
pulls 2 dudes, and just drags them down the stairs. Drops them, but they kind of like get up and what the hell, blah, blah, blah. And then he gives them a beer and says, "Hey, look, just sit down, just drink it off." And then he says, "All right, fall on the first one on the left, and the second one on the left, yours. But that will be 1 gold piece a night. I'm trying to make a nice establishment
I'll
here."
give you an extra gold piece for your trouble.
"Well, thank you very kindly." And he takes your 3 gold pieces. Are you paying for everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So he takes your 3 gold pieces.
You guys
He
get the
puts
next one.
the
We'll Venmo you.
We get 3 rooms? No, we get 2
two
rooms.
rooms. So
One.
1 per. And then she paid an extra.
Okay.
And then he puts an extra beer in front of you, and you get. And he puts one of his growlers out, so you get a growler of. Gargosh's microbrew.
Is that what it says in the book?
Yeah.
Gargosh's microbrew.
Confirmed.
Well, nicely
You
down.
can trust me. Don't roll inside. Okay, so then so you have 2 rooms upstairs. The evening's kind of getting it's about mid-afternoon now, but I guess it's probably setting in the evening because you were shopping most of the afternoon. And you see just kind of the traffic going through in the bar. You see a lot of people coming in from the cave, so you see a lot of miners, but they seem to be bearing a lot of injuries. So everyone's pretty beat up, like whether it's these kind of more soldier-looking types who are kind of coming in touting a lot of injuries, or it's these more kind of almost worker-looking types who are also touting a lot of almost looks like knife-type injuries or burns or kind of stuff like that.
As I'm serving drinks in the bar, as an employee now,
Mhm.
I want to ask
Yeah.
casually, small talk about the
Yeah.
wounds.
About the
About the
burns.
wounds and the burns and stuff.
Do you talk to the miners or the soldiers?
Oh. The miners.
Okay, so they say, thank you kindly, miss. Well, after, and you see him kind of like put the beer against the wound itself, and he says, "Well, let's say the workers' compensation for workplace damages aren't what I thought they would be. I'll tell you that much. It's been a little bit dicier in the mines these days."
What's dicey about it?
Well, that's ever since they uncovered. Well, you know the news, I'm sure. Ever since they uncovered everything, well, there's been a few more things creeping out from the crypt. You understand?
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, well, no.
Nothing like a big, strong man like yourself couldn't handle.
Of course, man. That's what I do. It's part of the job.
That girl. I'm like listening to your
Yeah. Sends message. Yeah, but I'm trying to think what you guys would know.
What do we know is coming out of
We
this?
know that the elves were.
Yeah.
It came out that the
Balrog?
elves were.
Yeah.
An elf was responsible for disrupting the delegation, right?
Yes,
You do know
an
that.
elf was responsible for that. So yeah, and then what you can tell is this is where the dwarvish delegate came from. I think you would know that by now. The dwarvish delegate came from this town.
Wait, wasn't the dwarf delegate? What's his name?
Athos?
No, Athos was like kind of their diplomat. So there's like kind of like two different groups of people. There was like the people who were kind of like managing and like trying to like do this like legal treaty, and there was like the actual like powerful people they sent to accompany the amulets to their resting place.
And those are the ones that got. Those are the delegates.
And those
that
people got
denounced
jumped,
and
yeah.
stuff, Yep.
So
Sorry, can you repeat one more? So there were the
yeah.
soldiers and there were the miners.
The miners.
Which one was burned and which one was
all
stabbed?
like both of them have kind of like gash wounds, burns. Like they've just been like both of them
Oh, okay.
pretty shredded.
Okay.
So the miners have these burns, as well as like some of these puncture wounds. Same with the soldiers, and from what you can tell, they've been working in that mine complex.
Okay.
Both have been in that mining complex.
But none of them look like they've taken a water damage.
That would be harder. You could do a perception check. That would be kind of harder to tell.
Okay, I'll do a perception check.
Yeah. Or you could do maybe a nature or survival check as well, if those are stronger.
Perception. I think it's Nope, not one.
Yes, you can't
Right
tell.
after not 20.
You can't tell. Like most of the visible signs are from some sort of like blunt force trauma, slashing trauma, or burn. But you can't tell if there's water damage. But yeah, they all seem really, really roughed up.
Alright. A lot of fire down in those tunnels, huh?
Yeah, well, half of it, I think. Give me, gosh, this needs a check, I feel like. Give me deception at advantage, because you're serving them drinks, so of course they're going to like you.
15?
15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he says, well, ever since they busted into the damn crypt and unleashed that filthy freaking elf trinket, there's been a lot of elemental problems, if you might say, these days, coming out from the rift.
Those damn elves.
Ah, that indeed. I have to worry about coming home to my family every night with them around, all their filthy machinations, you understand?
I understand.
I understand completely. Filthy machinations.
Your machination.
Rude. So yeah, he probably wouldn't know much more than that. But you
Alright.
got, I think, what you got out
I
of it.
keep doing my.
We're
Keep
sleeping,
doing
by
what you
the way. I'm sleeping while this
Yeah,
is
so everyone's
happening.
taking a long rest. Okay, so everybody go ahead and take a long rest.
Before
Or unless
I
you
walk
want-
up to
Yeah,
bed,
I want to take 5 minutes to use prestidigitation a bunch to clean the room.
Yep, the room is as clean as you can get it.
Yeah. I just one extra prestidigitation. I'm just, every surface, clean it up a bit.
I mean, it's as clean as you can get it.
I'll take it. It's better than when I walked in.
So before I walk up to the room, I mumble a very complicated sounding but meaningless words under my breath, and then cast Mass Healing Word on 6 random people and heal their wounds, so they think it was harder than it was. And then I walk upstairs into bed.
Good night.
And they, well, thank you, sir. I guess you aren't so bad as the rest of them.
And I
And
just
one of them,
walk upstairs.
Walk away. So
they are
long
rightfully
Yeah.
intimidated.
Awesome.
You've earned the respect of the bard.
Yeah.
So you all take a long rest. Everybody take a long rest. And during the night, you hear this immense, like, kind of drumbeat pounding sound coming from the caves.
Mama?
What?
I was dreaming. I was dreaming.
What spell
what's
is that?
Sound?
Yeah.
What's that sound?
Mama?
I was having a nightmare. What's that sound? What is it?
It's
even us hear it.
So, and as you do, you start to hear this kind of like cracking sound. And as you wake up, then it's about maybe like 4 or 5 in the morning. And in this type of bar, people would still be drinking. Everything's empty below ground. The innkeeper's gone. The people are gone. The barkeep is still, he's still there, but like he's like freaking out. And he's like sweating. And he's at the door looking out. And you just hear this continued kind of like banging sound.
I come down on my nightgown.
I come down too.
Yeah.
What's going on?
He says, I don't know, something in the mines. And he's like just looking. He's like freaked out. He yeah.
Where did everybody go?
He said they went to deal with the breach.
Breach by what?
He just is like freaked out.
You're
Shakes his
useless.
head.
Talk to us.
It's alright. You're safe here. You're safe here.
Alright, maybe persuasion, but okay, go ahead and give me yeah, that'd be persuasion. Whoever's trying to
Is there
like
like a comforting check?
I think that'd be persuasion. It'd be persuading him to feel better.
5.
He's just like,
Can I try and
I'm
intimidate
gonna lose me in after all me money.
What was that?
Sorry, my dance music stopped.
No, it was an alarm, but I don't know why I said maybe I meant to set it for 9:30. Oh, like 8 can I try and intimidate him some more?
Sure.
Like, you blows are good for nothing. We're all gonna die if you don't talk to us.
Roll me intimidation.
Nat 20.
Nice.
He says, I don't know. There was something that happened in the night. One of the lines broke. Some of them got through.
Some of what?
Whatever those damn elves released, I don't know. He starts crying. I don't work in the mines. I don't know.
Does it have to do with those burns that were covering everyone?
They released, when they found the amulet, they released something down there.
So
I
you
don't
said
know.
amulet?
I don't know. It was in the news. It's just weeping.
Just
Freaking
go.
out.
Put yourself to sleep. Jump out of the window.
Pour
I
him
don't
some
care.
of his own, not his microbrew,
Yeah.
like his stronger stuff.
Yeah. Of course, it's. Oh.
Calm down. Calm yourself.
Thank you. No, I don't know. I'm gonna lose my inn. I just spent all my savings after business school on this place. The company is the worst. He just rambles on about his woes. Bless you. Oh.
Is now our chance to sneak down?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
let's go see what's going on. But
Sneak down into the.
Secret passageway?
Yeah. Let's go.
Or are we gonna go help?
Let's go. You go upstairs. Go lay down.
go ahead.
Yeah. We tell the guy to lay down.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to remember what I. Right.
Spells. I'm just managing during that
Oh,
long
because
rest.
long
Just,
rest, you're swapping stuff out.
Yeah.
just trying to figure out what's.
Okay. So as you, so you can go through the try to go. So you go down to the storage. It's a storage bay. You see 2 wall-to-wall shelves on either side. It's a simple square room or a kind of rectangular room, a little bit longer. 2 wall-to-wall shelves, lots of like kegs of beer, different things that may have kind of like aging tags on them.
I get a little distracted. I start like reading the labels and stuff.
That's extra hop, double hop, triple IPA. At the very back of the room, you see kind of like an old wardrobe. You see some old just boxes like dry goods and stuff like that, and that's kind of all you'll see.
Perception check. Otherwise.
That would be an investigation check.
Investigation check. It's
Yeah.
2.
Are we all together now?
Yes, you all are all in the basement.
That's a 17.
17,
Yeah.
19?
19. Okay, so you, as you all kind of like run your hands on the walls, you are walking through the room and you feel kind of like a draft coming up from a small kind of like groove in the floor.
Nice.
Oh wait, what is? Wait, hold on. What is? There's a groove in
There's
the
a
floor.
kind of like a groove in the
And there's a
floor.
draft coming.
Yeah.
You should
Let's try to pull it up.
check for traps
Oh.
or something beforehand.
Yeah.
I have a wand.
That's nice. Wonderful.
Wand of secrets.
Before we, enter the king's palace through the secret door, perhaps check for traps.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It doesn't seem necessary to me.
Well, while holding it, I can use one action to. It will point to a secret door or a trap that's within 30 feet of me.
So it only
Oh.
points to.
So I mean, it'll point to it, but we already know it's a secret door.
Yeah.
Then
We
can I do a check for traps? Am I able to do that? Do I have to have a spell or an
Investigation.
ability for
You can do an investigation check to see if you can find any traps.
that? Okay.
I'm gonna do it too, just in case.
Yeah.
Sure. I failed. Looks safe.
13.
Looks good.
14.
Looks safe. Looks legit. You haven't used the wand?
I haven't, but I'm not sure how to understand what it does. It says the wand has 3 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges, and if a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of you, the wand pulses and points at the one
Mhm.
nearest to you. It'll
But we
point-
know
That's
it's
the
a
one
secret
nearest.
door, right?
Yeah.
We already know it's a secret door. I'm wondering, will it tell us that it's a trap? Or will it just be like, this might be a secret door, it might be a trap? One or
It
the
probably will just point to the door,
other. Okay.
and it won't know about
That's
it.
what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
so.
I would be happy to open it, but I think that I shouldn't.
Hmm.
Somebody not squishy should open it. Or Paddington?
Paddington and
yeah.
Paddington.
Uh-huh.
All right, I want
I love
to.
you.
I want to step back out of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, "All right," and
He
he
explodes.
Yeah.
Oh,
He reaches
Paddington, don't
over-
explode.
Paddington, we love you.
opens the door, and there's just a simple little tunnel leading downwards.
He needs to go walk through it.
Paddington, you're so brave.
I wouldn't have let you do it if I thought it was unsafe.
He says. So as he walks through it, he kind of starts walking down. Did you tell him to walk through it?
Yeah, he's not just testing the door, he's testing the whole thing.
So then suddenly, as he's walking through it, a gout of flame just engulfs him, and he's going to take.
Does he have resistance to flame?
Yeah.
He's stone.
So I thought.
So you can take 10 points of fire damage, and he's gonna kind of like
No, Paddington!
kind of like pat himself, but there's nothing burning. So he just kind of like runs through these, what seems to be this kind of like this like little circular arch that looks actually very similar to the arch outside. But like you kind of like go down this little stairway. There's this little entryway, circular arch, and then tunnel.
And
Oh,
the flames
And
came
that
from
the
the arch.
the flames came from the arch.
Now, is that something we can investigate to see if it's like been like sprung or if it will hit all try to hit all of us?
You certainly can.
Okay.
Yeah, investigate.
I'm bringing up the rear of the group. I'd like to close the door behind us.
7?
Okay, close the door
10.
behind you. So 10, 7,
15.
15. So you get a sense that there might be some sort of key item that someone might have
That's triggering it, or that will disable it?
that would let whoever has it or a group of people pass if they had it.
Can I do an investigation check of the area around here?
Like
in
look
this
around
tunnel?
the cellar?
You can look around the tunnel. Yeah, you might not find anything in here.
Can I go back up into the previous room?
Yes. Up to the upstairs room?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go up to the upstairs room, you can do an investigate. Go ahead and roll investigation.
I'm not good.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't see it there. You
Alright, can I look also? Or is-
who would know anything about key items, stuff like that? Who has Arcana?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I have
Yeah.
Arcana.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Is that 20? Okay. So you know that someone in the vicinity usually carries these types of things. So like it usually would be like kind of like someone on either side would have like kind of like a key to get through the door on either side.
Can you go around the arch?
It's built into the stone. It's just like
tunnel through the
you can certainly try. But yeah, you can either try to disable it in some way, but from your Arcana knowledge, like usually a key item like this would not be very far.
Can I go
And it would
sneak
be
up
something-
to our dear innkeeper friend's room? He's
Mhm.
asleep, right?
Yeah, he's just lying down, kind of like just kind of like passed out with stress now.
Okay, can I sneakily try and pick his pockets and see if he has the key?
That would be a good idea. Go ahead and roll me. I think it would be sleight of hand. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I was hoping for still, but nope. It's a 7.
So you are kind of going through his pockets, and you feel like kind of this like stonework little like item that has kind of like the similar runes. It feels like it has the similar runes. You're about to reach it out, and hand wraps around your hand. He says, "You,
I'm
my
so
newest
sorry.
employee, come to rob me."
I'm not. I'm just making sure you're okay. You were so hysterical earlier.
You know, and he takes your hand out, and you have like the item and still clutched in your fingers. So persuasion. What are we gonna do? Deception, maybe.
Or just knock him
Kill this.
If I were to just like
out. Kill him.
try
just
and knock him out, what
Just-
would that? What
No,
check would
just
that
deceive
be?
him.
That would be an
Deceive him.
attack.
Oh.
Deceive
But you
him.
could do it. I mean, you could run an attack.
We may need to come back here. Deceive him.
Yeah, we're gonna try deception first.
If
I
you-
just
More of a hit first.
I was looking for the key to the cash register.
Huh?
The cash register.
Yes.
Why is that?
I wasn't sure if there was a customer downstairs. He, you know, we can't take bills over 100, but he told us such a good story.
All right. What's your deception check? That can maybe fly.
For all those medieval cash
You can-
registers they had.
You can roll an advantage because he's probably really discombobulated right now.
That's what was it? Deception?
Yeah, deception.
20? Not nat 20. But
But like a straight, just an add
19
20.
plus 1.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, okay. You've been doing such good work." And he just kind of like takes his pocket, just all the contents, and just like kind of shoves them into your hands. All right, just go. And then just kind of lies back in his bed.
I'll take good care of the bar. I
You
promise.
adore.
I would never do you wrong.
But just make sure they pay up extra on days like this. And he kind of like rolls back and
I give him a little kiss on the forehead.
yeah, thank you, darling.
Night, night.
Thank you. He's just out of it. So then you have a small kind of the contents of his pocket were the keys to the cash register, and like kind of this old like kind of iron key to the front door, kind of like a lockbox. There's like a lockbox under the counter, and then a big iron key to the front door, and then a that kind of like weird stone kind of. It almost looks like not like a wand, but kind of like a oblong carving with kind of like all these like loops and stuff in it, and those like runes carved into it. That's kind of what you have right now.
Alright, I go back downstairs.
Yep. So you go back downstairs, and there's your crew.
Should we try
I
this?
didn't carry this.
He just is like he's on the other side right now. He's just like
Oh.
Don't give me sass, Pennington.
I'll
You have
I'll try.
resistance.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
Yeah, no, I trust it.
I feel confident.
Maybe I'll try. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we
Maybe
should.
I'll
yeah,
You try.
Yeah.
definitely legit.
So I take the thing and I walk through.
No problem.
Excellent. I
Come
walk
back
back
and
through.
bring us all.
I gather them. I
Bring
keep them
his hand.
close to me. Put my arms around them and clutch them to my bosom. And we walk
I feel
through.
comfortable.
You're- I'm so safe.
Not a fan.
So yeah, you all go through the tunnel, and you see like another kind of apparatus on the other side, with sort of a similar thing, but again the trinket kind of gets you through. And as you ascend some steps, you emerge on the bottom level of the palace. And as you get there, you see on the far side of the palace, and you guys are not noticed yet. And I'm going to do this real quick, and then I might let you all go to bed because it is getting late unless you want to do some more. But so you see on the far side of the palace, you come up way in this little corner. This is a massive room. Like, this is probably like 10 meters. Like,
This is in his private quarters, right?
This is on the bottom floor.
Oh.
Sorry, you're right. This is in his private quarters. But like, it's like these. It's like this huge room. Sorry, it's the top kind of. I misspoke. It's the top little.
How are we on top? Did we go upstairs?
Yeah, you went back upstairs, and it
Okay.
kind of like wound through like the building.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot that I said that, but yeah, you see the king's bed chamber here. So you're kind of like right by his bed chamber, and then there's like there's like a little window here. So it's like a little door to the bed chamber, a door somewhere else, and there's this whole complex in this like third floor. And out in the very, very end, you hear the sounds of battle, and that's where we're gonna end tonight.
All right.
Hey.
Chaos. That was fun, y'all.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Gotta
nice.
kicked it back off for the new year.
Yeah.
Huh?
And we didn't die.
We did not die.
I know.
I mean, we're still beholden to a demon, and probably don't want to kill the king of dwarves, but you know.
Yeah, we're
It
not
happens.
killing, we're just gonna steal his
Just
dagger.
walked into the dwarf capital with
See you later, everybody.
the elves in the middle
Bye-bye.
of the Civil War.